Hello, everybody, and welcome back tonight on AWSCO on ESN. We're live here from Newton, Iowa, home of the beautiful Iowa Speedway, as the AWSCO Cup Series and AWSCO Cup and Continental Series converge upon the end of the home stretch of the regular season. We're here for round 27 of 40 in the AWSCO Windows Cup Series. It's the Iowa Corn 400 here at the 7/8 of a mile D-shaped short track. We've got two of these bigger short tracks coming up here on the schedule as we wind down the regular season. Our first leg of this little stretch is here at Iowa. Obviously, our next race will be at the 3/4 of a mile track at Richmond Raceway. Both of these tracks provide good opportunities for strategy-oriented racing at these short tracks, and we certainly saw some of that in the Continental Series race yesterday. And with just 3 spots left on points in the regular season standings here, with two drivers fighting it out for the regular season championship, everything is still on the table, and the odds of a surprise winner potentially taking out one of the best drivers one of the best performing drivers this year looms ever closer, as the Cup Series grid is getting ready to start the 4th to last race before the playoff stretch. I'm Russia, and once again, I'm joined by Ellie in the studio for the pre-race show. Yesterday at Iowa, we saw the Continental Series take on this track for 250 laps, and we saw kind of everything in that race. Lots of both short and longer runs. I don't think we didn't really get a full full fuel run per se in the race itself. We got pretty close to that, but we had a caution very late in the green flag run that we did have. So strategy wise, things are a little bit might still be a little bit mysterious for these Cup teams, maybe, who were looking and trying to take notes from the Continental race. What are you expecting from the Cup Series drivers here today?
Well, I'm kind of expecting the driving to kind of have stages here. We kind of noticed that in the Continental Series at this race, that there is certain points in the race where you're going to see the drivers being very calm, not too aggressive, because they're just trying to pace themselves and kind of see where the field is at. And I think more so around the middle to the end is where we'll really start seeing the aggression pick up. And I think we're going to see that especially from our drivers who are just outside of the cut line in points and just above the cut line in points especially. I think we're probably going to try and we're going to see a driver who is going to be trying to get a win here. We're going to possibly see a new winner here. I could easily expect that. We could also just see another winner here who is like trying to get another win on their board. But I think the big thing here is it's just going to be very competitive. Like we saw the Continental race here be competitive. I think this one's going to be just as competitive, if not more.
Yeah, it looks like the very beginning and probably the middle to end of the race are going to be the trickiest parts of the race to navigate through. Obviously, there's with AWSCO start and restart procedures, there's only one double file start at the very beginning of the race. Every other restart's going to be single file. That's going to be the main point of concern at the beginning, obviously, with drivers starting the race out too wide. That obviously provides the biggest opportunities for drivers to send it 3 wide early on, in that early portion of the race, and that's typically been, I think, the situations the most dangerous situations often crop up with 3 wide situations. But as we saw in the Continental race yesterday, you can get a lot of action with just 2 cars. We saw a lot of argy bargy and in the race, especially on the restarts yesterday. I do, do you wonder, do you think we'll see that kind of thing again here today with the Cup Series drivers?
I think we will, and I think early on, when they're just starting, I think the big thing to look out for is well, if they do go 3 wide. If they go 3 wide, then that could cause a concern for an early caution. And if there's an early caution, well, we kind of see here, if there's an early caution, some of the better drivers do end up accidentally getting taken out just from where they started. And I think the big thing here is you're gonna want to kind of, if you're in the middle of let's say the field, right, and right on the start, you're going to want to be very careful there. I don't think you're going to want to send it 3 wide. I think you're going to want to be careful and just stick single file or 2 wide, especially right when everybody is getting going. I think that could be very dangerous. Even like if you're desperate to win, if you're desperate to pick up points, I would personally be very careful doing that.
Yeah, I mentioned the bumper-to-bumper action that we saw yesterday in the Continental Series race, which I think provides a good opportunity for us to talk about the racetrack itself, Iowa Speedway. We mentioned that it's 7/8 of a mile long, which classifies it as a short track, but it is fairly large as a track for short track standards. Obviously being close to a mile with lightly banked corners, 12 to 14 degrees in the turns themselves, and and also the shape of the oval being a D-shaped oval. Once again, parallels between this track and Richmond kind of appear because they're really the only two short tracks with that kind of front stretch infield grass that kind of makes it drive a little bit more like a small speedway track. And I think Iowa's especially is the short track that drives the most like a speedway track,
right?
Kind of like an in between short tracks and say a Nashville Super Speedway, which is kind of that same small speedway vibe in terms of the way it races. And we saw that with the speeds these cars can get up to at this track, it is fairly fast, especially for a short track. We saw some pretty big accidents yesterday in the Continental Series because of that. The drivers race it like a short track, but the speeds can get close to that of a bigger mile oval or speedway.
Yeah, and that's been the interesting thing to watch here because it kind of creates a very dynamic and very, I guess I would say, you really got to pace yourself at this track. You can race it like it is a short track, but with the way it's banked and with the way this track is designed, you still have to be careful here because if you get too fast going on those corners, you can end yourself in a wreck. And if you're high up in points or you're racing really good the entire time and you end up crashing yourself because you were going too fast here, well, that's going to be a very unfortunate for you here. And I think that's one of the more interesting things to look out for here is just because the way the track is designed, it just makes the racing so fun and so chaotic to watch here. It starts off a little calmer, but it really grips you here.
Yeah. And most importantly, Iowa, in terms of racing lines, it definitely does act like a short track where the bottom line is the best place to be about 85% of the time. But we saw in the restarts, if you're in the lead, you can still use that. If you kind of get sent to the outside, you can really make work of that outside line, especially on exit. This track, I feel like, really presents the outside line as the outside line presents a very good defensive.
Yes.
What do you call it? How do I say this? Presents itself as a really good line for defensive situations. We saw that with the 12 for Jackie Kennedy yesterday on those restarts. Really utilized that outside line to defend for on those restarts many times over. Speaking of our drivers here, let's take a look at the starting lineup for this race. It's an all ERR front row. Carly Byrne and Lily Tolberson on your front row. Carly Byrne sitting 26th in points, 4 top 5s and 6 top 10s. Closest she's come to win was in the middle of that absolute insanity run that ERR had, but finished second to her teammate Arina Tosima at the Daytona Road Course. So oftentimes the ERR, whenever the ERR tide lifts, the 9 tends to perform well with it, and it looks like that might be the case today, starting alongside her teammate, the 39 of Lily Tulberson, who has 2 wins this season and 10 top 10s. That's tied for tied for 4th most, I believe, with 3 drivers on 11 top 10s. The last win was at Rio de Janeiro during our international swing. Looking at the rest of the top 10, we have Mika Gennaro and Alicia Byrne in row 2, Tabrisia Tolorn and Sophie Chantose on row 3, Arlen Handstrom and Eva Ayarsaraj in row 4, and Jami McJasmina and Yenfi Yanaga in row 5. What do you think of the drivers? What do you think of the drivers in our top 10? Definitely 2 big underdogs there with Gennaro and Tolorn starting up front again. Those are 2 of the drivers in the bottom 3, I believe, in the standings in terms of owners' points.
I think it's very interesting that they're up there, and we kind of did see that in the Continental Series here as well, where the underdogs were performing really high up in qualifying, and I think what we're going to see here is that the underdogs are performing high up here and starting in row 2, 3, 4. It's because they want to win, or they're really desperate to get up there in points, because it's really coming down to the wire here. I mean, there's like, what, 3 spots?
Yes, 3 spots left.
3 spots
4
left.
4 including the regular season champion, who is currently winless right now. That would be either one of the 64 or 23 would be if they become regular season champion, would also get a bye. So up to 4, I think. Unless we get even more winners, which is its own thing basically. But yeah,
right,
roughly about there.
So that's about 3 or 4. So the field here is still very competitive when it comes down to the point situation and just getting a win at this point. It's getting way too narrow to really have this many drivers staying up there in points. I mean, I think we're going to see a new winner tonight, and I think it's going to be one of the underdogs probably. If not, it's going to be, probably Lily Tolberson or maybe a Zoisharaj. I could see her, the 98, winning here. I could see a lot of drivers winning here, but I think if you're an underdog here, you're going to try and stick it out as long as you can. And if we do see one of them doing that for a while, I think it could be Mika Gennaro. I think she could be one of the underdogs who can win here for sure.
Yeah, though notably, of course, our winner from the Continental race, Vinny Scholl, started out way back in the field as well. So race pace definitely the name of the game at this track, and I think it'll be even more important with this race being 400 laps instead of 250. Finally, let's take a look at our in-season tournament bracket. Lots of different scenarios popping up as a result of our race at Indianapolis. Notably, of course, Abby Little beating out the 22 of Andrea Davidson. That was the 32 seed beating out the 1 seed. Immediately a massive upset right off the bat, with Little finishing 2 positions ahead with no engine. And a dramatic finish there at the Brickyard. Abby Little in the 71, starting on the inside of row 11. That'll be 21st place, facing off against Lori Schliesenbach outside of row 16. That's in 32nd place. Our other matchups are Paisley Yiria and Carly Byrne, your pole sitter, Jami McJasmina and Perry Alicantes. Marisha Vebels and Alicia Byrne. Alicia Byrne's, that's Carly Byrne's sister, starting on the outside of row 2. With Vebels again starting near the back of the field. Felicia Vancy and Cynthia Rairston, that's our 2 and 18 seeds. Both of them starting around the midfield. Kelly Yataka and Audie Stoneman. Arinia Tosama, your Indianapolis winner, facing off against Qatar's Taylor Happeman. And finally, Yania Waterton in the 13 against Ava Ayarsaraj in the 98. Do you think we're going to get what do you think, Ellie? Do you think we're going to get more underdog performances here? I mean, we had plenty of those already at Indy, but Indy was kind of a unique thing, it being a big drafting track and all that. Iowa's obviously more of a technical track. Do you think the drivers on the big teams that have performed more better on the course of a season, do you think that trend is going to be more apparent at this track compared to Indy?
Well, I think the big thing to look out for is actually underdog performance here. I mean, for example, Abby Little, she just outside of row 10. She's row 11, and
she's starting on the inside, which is important.
Yeah, also on the inside. I think that's a pretty decent start for her, and I think she can keep that pace probably. We've been seeing her kind of pick up her performance lately, so that's an underdog I would also look out for. But I also do think some of the better cars in the season could probably perform really well here. Like, I think Vebels could take it in the bracket. I think she could be one to just end up winning that.
Yeah, and I don't think you can count out any of the ERR cars that are remaining in the bracket. That being the 9 and a 93, 99 and 93, 9, 99 and 93, I should say. 3 of them left in most of the other big teams have had their cars kind of picked off in the first round, but ERR still have 3 of their 4 drivers in this in-season bracket. So I think it's fair to say that they're probably looking at being the favorites here, especially with how well their team does as a whole when they're when the team is on point. So
yeah, ERR is no one to scoff at any race, especially here. I think they're going to do really well.
Yeah, and of course the what do you call it? The MBYW car, the Alliance, the aligned car, the aligned team to ERR as well. 13 of Yania Waterton as well. She's starting on the inside of row 7 in 13th place. Waterton is both of the MBYW cars have been running fairly well, if not lacking a little bit of consistency, but 2 second place finishes in a row for that team. Second for Barino in Surrey, and second for Waterton at Indy. All right, with that, looks like we are ready to send you over to the booth. It will be Echo and Rena taking over the commentary duties here today at Iowa Speedway. We hope you... Never mind. We're on we've encountered a bit of a holding pattern here. We'll stay with you for another minute here. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the racing here from Iowa Speedway. We're definitely looking forward to it here, and yeah, I guess we'll take one last look here at the weather. Clear 88. 88 degrees, similar weather to that of the race yesterday with slightly milder wind. So, and with that, looks like our booth is actually ready now. We'll send things over to them now, and hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you. See you, Echo.
Yeah, and welcome to Newton, Iowa here. We're in the Midwest here in central Iowa for the Iowa Corn 400. 400 laps here from this 7/8 of a mile short track in the American heartland. I'm joined in the booth today by Rena. You're from a different part of the Midwest, but part of the Midwest nonetheless. What do you expect here from this race here in Iowa, and how do you think these drivers are going to learn from the Continental race yesterday, considering that's one of the first Continental races we've had in a while? Okay, we appear to not have our co-host. Unless I can't hear. I may be experiencing audio issues. In fact, I am, experiencing audio issues.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Was strange.
We're experiencing some technical issues here, so we'll briefly send you back to the studio here for a second here.
Technical issues in AWSCO. Say it ain't so. This race is basically built upon random technical problems here as we try to sort out the sound problems that they're having in in the booth right now. Welcome back to the studio for our post pre-race report, or whatever this is called. Things are occurring on the technical side of things. We're gonna have to. Oh yeah, okay. Rena, can you hear me here?
Oh no, you're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
you're not in VC.
You're not in VC Echo. What the hell is going on?
This is getting okay. Now can you hear me? Hello, Rena. You there? What is going on?
I'm not seeing any input coming through.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any input coming in here.
Test.
Hello.
Mic's working, everything's good. Thank you, Netflix, for Jake Paul versus Anthony. I don't care, I'm not watching this.
Are we back?
We should be.
Are we back here? Hello? Once again, I am... Are you sure your mic is... It is? Yeah, okay. Hello, Rena, you got it? I'm not getting anything here. I'm not getting any input. Nope, I'm not getting anything. I've unmuted from your end, on my end, so I can't, so I'll be able to hear myself, but I can't hear. What happened to Discord? What the heck?
Jover.
Hello. This is actually a shambles. How the heck did this happen? This is actually a shambles. What the fuck? I can't hear myself on the mic. How did the mic undo itself? Just actually unplug and replug it in. Have you tried the classical method? I don't know which one is which, so is this it? This is it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Hello, are we still here? Nope, I can't hear myself on the microphone. Yeah, reconnect. Alright. Hello? What? How? Hang on. Take this mic. Hello? Try that. Check it. Check the mic. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Hello. Is this mic working? Why is it not picking up? Is it OBS? Is OBS like goofing it up? No, it's not OBS. What happened?
OBS can, but it is not doing that. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, this is weird. It works. Like it's picking up, but it's not being sent through the what do you call it? It's not getting picked up on the call.
Yeah. It's being really, really weird. I don't know what's going
This
on.
is a new one. Yeah, hang on. Let me.
Sorry, give us a second while we attempt to sort out these technical issues.
Okay, yeah, I can hear the broadcast works. The broadcast mic is working.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. This is so dumb. What the hell?
Just try restarting again.
I will. Give me one second. Okay, is it picking through? No, it's still not. What the?
What? Huh.
Why?
Is that it's a
So
Windows
weird.
default? I don't think. I mean.
Hello? Let's see.
Not hearing you.
Hello? Oh,
Yeah,
I can hear you.
there we go.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, I just had to mess around with some of the settings.
Broadcast. The broadcast is about as reliable as your average IndyCar on Fox broadcast here.
Oh.
Okay, it won't show me the broadcast. It won't show me the stream preview in
OBS.
OBS for some reason. All right, give us a second and we will have everything done here. Okay. With that, hopefully cleared up. Okay, never mind. I can't even hear NR. Oh my god, please set it through there. There we go. Okay.
Drivers, to your car.
Okay. Let's try and get through here. Rena, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you see the broadcast?
I can see the broadcast.
All right, that is great. Okay, now for real this time we're gonna actually do this. Welcome to the Iowa Corn 400 here from Iowa in the American Midwest. We're here for a 400 laps at this beautiful short track in the American Midwest, here in America's heartland. I'm joined today by Rena, who is from a little further south in the Midwest, but from the Midwest nonetheless. Rena, what do you expect? What do you think we're gonna see in this one? And how do you think the Continental race is gonna play into the what these drivers will do today?
Well, I think Iowa Speedway is a really unique track based on how it races, the banking, and the length of the track. It's really hard to generalize setup strategy from other tracks to this one. So it gives the underdog and lesser funded teams a real chance to level the playing field just a little bit. Probably one of the better chances they'll get outside of road courses and super speedways. And so I think carrying on from the Continental race and kind of the narratives that we saw there, we're definitely going to see a lot of those little teams who've had this date circled on their calendar for weeks now really show out. Now, that doesn't mean that the bigger teams don't have a real shot of dominating this one. It just means that maybe the field is a little more, there's a little more parity throughout the field than maybe we're used to.
Yeah, all right. We're going to go through our starting grid here very quickly here from the Iowa Speedway. Row 1, it's Carly Byrne and Lily Talberson in those first two rows, or in the front row, and Evans Ross Racing front row sweep at this race. Row 2 is the 42 of Mika Gennaro and the 91 of Alicia Byrne, Carly's sister, sitting just behind her in row 2. Row 3, Teresa Toleron and Sophie Chantazé, who wanted a short track at the Daytona backstretch earlier in the season. Actually, the first race of the season. Row 4, Arlen Handstrom and Ava Ajarsaraj, a couple road course winners. Row 5 is the 6 of Jami McJasmine and the 46 of Yenfi Yanaga. Row 6 is the 52 of Rachel Cole and the 96 of Angeli Rugatino. Row 7 is the 13 of Yania Waterton and the 93 of Irina Tosima, last week's winner at the Brickyard. Row 8, the 60 of AWSCO and the 22 of Andrea Davison. Row 9, the 2 of Isa Javida and the 1 of Alicia Vancy. In row 10 is the 3 of Mimi Barino and the 20 of DeGabi Abriella. Row 11 is the 71 of Abby Little and the 34 of Mika Harina. Row 12 is the 10 of Audie Stoneman and the 31 of Taylor Happerman. Row 13 is the 17 of Dara Reister and the 32 of Cinlia Rariston. Row 14, the 72 Janet Parkings and the 21 of Amani Wandayo. Row 15, the 62 of Halis Yukovic and the 23 of Yapi Malikson. Row 16, the 55 Rhea Delot and the 8 of Lowry Schliesenbach. Row 17, the 38 of Youngwei Ku and the 82 of Pace Laniria. Row 18 is the 92 of Michele Yatica and the 18 of Perry Alicantes. Row 19, the 99, Marisha Vebelst and the 64, Jocelyn Nihale. And row 20, the 27 of Nietzsche Garnston and the 16 of Sky and Jetta. 400 laps from this one. There's a couple big things going on. You know, obviously this race is going to be an important race to try and get to the playoffs. If you're one of those teams that's battling for to get that win into the playoffs, but this is also big because this is where the brackets come in. You got 16 drivers left in 8 matchups. The bracket is going to be really important for a lot of these drivers. What are you expecting we might see bracket-wise?
I think the driver I have my eyes on is definitely Abby Little. Massive upset in the first round as a 32nd seed. Already won a race this season. Honestly, I'm excited to see how far she can get with it.
Yeah, I think everyone's just excited to see how the bracket will progress as well as the points race through the rest of the season. With that, we also have Carly Byrne up here in the front row, and while she's in the bracket mix, she also won the pole. She's looking for a win to get into the playoffs.
Drivers,
she's still in a really difficult position as we get the command to fire the engines here from Iowa. Pace car rolls off. Do you have any very short expectations here before we go green?
Like I said before, I think the underdogs are probably going to show out, but personally, I think Toyota is really going to show out.
All right. Well, you got Mika Gennaro up there towards the front. And McJasmine and Yanaga were in the Fast 10 as well. Green flag is out, and we're racing in Iowa. And you see that the inside lane, this is kind of a two-groove track here. The inside lane is a little better, but if you roll the outside just right, you can hang on, and that's exactly what Lily Talberson has just done to take the lead away on the opening lap. But Carly Byrne's going to fight back on the bottom side.
Yeah, it looked like the 39 just didn't get the entrance into 1 and 2 there that maybe she needed.
Now that top side, you can kind of roll the line very well there. And Talberson leads the second lap of the race as well, but Carly Byrne really good through the center of the corner there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, Gennaro got shuffled out to the outside, now Tolero to third.
Talberson again fighting back on the outside. Still, she hangs on. Well, we've seen a great battle for the lead already. We're in the opening laps of the race.
I would keep an eye on Alicia Byrne. I mean, she's definitely showing some aggression back there, but she's got herself to the inside lane.
Ooh, she's showing a lot of aggression. She's putting a little more than the bumper. Talberson finally clear of Carly Byrne. And Lily Talberson used the outside lane to take the lead here in the opening stretch here in Iowa. You see Carly and Alicia Byrne battling, those two sisters fighting for the second spot now as Carly Byrne tries to hold on.
A little sibling rivalry here in Iowa.
Those two, some highly touted prospect drivers. Both have kind of struggled a bit this season, but so early on. Well, Sophie Chantazé is up here. We're going 3 wide back here with Yanaga and Waterton made contact. They're going 4 wide. Waterton was not. Waterton
got
got
together?
Waterton and Yanaga made contact there. I'm not sure how that wasn't a wreck, but it wasn't. At least not yet.
Honestly, an excellent car control from several of those drivers there.
Absolutely. I'm not sure how nobody wrecked there. They both were getting in the wall. They were side by side. They were into each other. I mean, three wide barely works here. Don't even try 4 wide. But they managed to live through it somehow.
Yeah, aggressive moves will get you that, but Yanaga and Waterton keeping those all 4 wheels on the ground is honestly really impressive. Carly Byrne trying to get a nose in underneath the 39. A little. Oh, we here.
Here's we're missing a car. The 16 of Sky and Jetta is not on the track. Let's see if we can get word as to why she's not taking the green flag. It appears that the 16 did not take the green flag, so...
Hopefully everything's alright, but that's really unfortunate for Sky and Jetta, who's battled through a lot this season.
Ellie?
Yeah, it looks like Angetta just had some issues with her engine before the race even started.
That's really unfortunate. Seeing them fighting for second still. 91's there on the 9.
She got the side draft.
She's finally got to the inside here. But again, being on the inside is not a guaranteed pass. That outside lane works really well. You can get the outside to work really well if you just roll the corner right. And we saw yesterday that the outside groove, once it comes in, it can be really, really beneficial if you can run it just right.
Well, Alicia Byrne is going to get to second with a little help from the 26.
26 is going to try for third here, but Carly Byrne's still fighting her off. I think we're seeing kind of the outside lane is a little bit better at holding on in 3 and 4 than it is in 1 and 2.
I think it's just a lot harder to get a good entrance to 1 and 2 on the outside than it is on the inside.
Now, unfortunate for Sky and Jetta, again, she's one of those cars who's really trying to get towards the playoffs, and just every anvil has been thrown her way, so that's not going to help things at all. With the last place finish is what she'll be credited with. She will get credited with a 40th place.
How about McJasmine?
Yeah, McJasmine is doing a solid job right now, sitting up in 7th here, fighting with Tabrizi Toleran. And you know, I will say another thing. I'm very surprised we did not see an early incident, especially with them all doubled up, because that was pretty much prime territory for them to have that early incident in the cup race, in the Continental race, yesterday. And we saw arguably even more chaotic racing today, but it did not result in really anything. Carly Byrne has gotten to 4th. See McJasmine fighting with Toleran. Now she's going to take, with Toleran, she's going to take 5th spot.
Yeah, that car looks fast.
There's last week's winner, Irenia Tosima, back in 26th right now. And then there's Yapi Malikson, 2nd place in points, sitting in 28th right now. She is ahead of points leader Jocelyn Nihale, though. There's Nihale back in 34th, but That's another thing, is that those two drivers, even when they have bad days, they'll still manage to turn them into good days at some point. So being towards the back early, not really a big deal for those two. Talberson still holds on to the lead.
She just slid up in that corner.
Yeah, trying a little different line. You'll see them really try to run different lines here. You can make different lines work here. It's kind of like a 1.5 groove racing line here. You can make kind of the bottom work. It's really, you just have to hit, Lidovic was talking about it yesterday in the Continental race. You just have to get the car to turn really at the right spot.
Yeah, it's a very weird racetrack handling-wise.
It doesn't really matter where you get it to turn, where you turn it into, or where you exit, as long as you get it to turn through the corner. Like, rolling through the corner is going to be the big thing here. And that's also going to be something we're going to probably talk about in Richmond next week, too. Richmond is a very similar racetrack, as we had a spin down the back straightaway. No caution. Some kind of spin to happen down the back straightaway. It appears that there's no caution for that. We will catch up to that when we can.
Charlie Byrne back up to third, now fighting for second with Alicia Byrne.
Here's McJasmina. Gonna try to take fourth from Chantaze, and I believe she'll do it. She's clear.
Yeah, the number 6 is fast. She's been making moves basically since the drop of the green flag, and kind of all out on her own. Most of the passes we've seen have been with a little bit of drafting help and maybe a push from somebody behind, but the 6 has been able to just make those passes go solo.
.39 kind of goes a little wide. Here comes Alicia Byrne. Ooh, Alicia just pushes her way in. She goes to the inside on Talberson, and we may have a change for the lead here. Although we'll see. Talberson has been really good on the outside lane, and she will do so again. That may be something that really plays into Talberson's advantage here, is because to make those passes, you kind of have to do it on the bottom. Now we see the 6 car going for second. McJasmine sees all this, and she just wants to get up through everybody.
Yeah, I think McJasmine's car is set up kind of in the polar opposite way to the 39. She's basically been hooking the bottom the whole time and can just run it faster than every car that she's had to pass so far. 39 is able to run the top much better. These two are kind of foils of one another.
Yeah, the 39's been really good on the top side, but we'll see if that sticks around, especially now because she's getting challenged for the race lead. Here comes the 6. Look, these cars have been running really nice lines all race. McJasmine slides up a little bit, kind of trying to take the air away from the 39. And we will have our first lead change. Jamie McJasmine takes it away. And the 6 car now out front in Iowa.
Yeah, it definitely has the advantage through 1 and 2 where the 39 can't quite grip the top as well. 39's thrown off a bit. Now Alicia Byrne have a chance of taking second.
And the 91 will get second here.
We've been focused on the lead, but that 22 is now up to P5.
Yeah, Andrea Davison has really climbed up through the field as well. She has our NordVPN fastest lap right now. That's a 21.647 that Davison has. I think the car that might have spun is the 27 of Nietzsche Garnston. Because she came down pit road and made a stop to fix damage, it appears. So We'll keep you updated. Garnston's not in the bracket. Now, if you're wondering about bracket races so far, we will read off all 8 of them to you right now. Abby Little, as the 46 of Yanaga is blowing up now. She has some kind of damage. She missed the pit road. Well, multiple Southwest Racing cars with early failures. Although I'm not sure that's a failure. It doesn't look like it was. Alright, anyways. Getting back to what I was saying. Laurie Schliesenbach has 25th to Abby Little's 31st. Carly Byrne is in 4th, whereas Pace Linieria is in 32nd. Jamie McJasmina is leading, whereas Perry Alacantes is in 35th. Alicia Byrne is in 2nd. Marisha Vebelst is 19th. Let me see. Simley Ryerson is 16th, and Felicia Vancy is in 33rd. Michele Yatica, Audie Stoneman is 10th, and Michele Yatica is in 35th. Irina Tosima is 25th, and Taylor Happerman is 27th. They're actually pretty close to each other right now here, as here's some action back there. There's the 93 and there's the 31. And the final bracket battle is Yania Waterton in 22nd and Ava Jarsaraj in 36th. So a lot of the bracket battles towards the back of the field right now, or very spread out from each other. And Gianni McJasmina, interesting statistic here, and this is still a statistic that she has. She still has yet to score a top 10 on an oval this season. I believe she's the only driver who has such a statistic. She has three top 10s, but they all came at road courses.
She's making a good case here. This is a more unique oval than perhaps they're used to running as well.
Yeah. She's having some trouble getting around this lap car, though.
This lead battle's getting bunched up. We see the 91 and 39 are back in the hunt. 91 slides out.
39 looks to the inside on Alicia Byrne.
Couldn't quite take advantage of that.
I'm just making sure I have yellow flags on. We've had like multiple incidents with no caution being thrown. It's Andrea Davison. I know you're trying to make a big send here on Carly Byrne.
Gave a little bit of the bumper.
McJasmina will finally be able to get past Nietzsche Garnston. Here's Davison still battling with Carly Byrne. Now Alicia Byrne trying to get past the lap traffic as well. The 27's been a little bit of a she's not really a slow lap car.
Yeah, it took Alicia a while to get around the 27. Davison.
It might take Talberson a while too.
Had to slow up there to avoid hitting the 39, and now Carly Byrne is back into that fight.
Well, we've gone the first 46 laps so far, completely under green flag here from Iowa, although I can't say we've gone without incident. Again, we're going to keep tabs on those bracket battles as we get updates on them. See there, Carly Byrne trying to take 4th spot back from Davison.
Did we ever find out what happened again for Yanniga?
Don't know. It appears to it looks like it was damage because I don't see any mech fails in the log.
It's unfortunate for the 46 team.
Yeah, unfortunate, but for Yanniga, she's already in the playoffs and she's out of the bracket, so pretty inconsequential for her. Still though, they probably still would have rather been, well, running at the finish. So when we get a chance, which when we get a chance basically means at the next caution, we will take a look and see what happens. What happened with, well, everything.
There's quite a big gap from 9th to 10th, but I want to point out that 10th place car is Meika Gennaro. She fell back really early, is starting to mount a comeback slowly but surely, but...
Yeah, she's gone back to 10th. Ciati Stoneman behind her, and then Mimi Barino back behind them. And that, decent shout out to Mimi Barino, who had that 2nd place run a couple weeks ago in Vancouver. Barino's looked a little bit better lately. And MBYW Motorsports has been a team that's kind of struggled with getting funding after they... the primary sponsor on that 3 car bowed out in the middle of the season. So they had to negotiate a new deal to cover the rest of the year on that car, but it's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, Carly Byrne is really struggling to get around Garnson. And it's kind of bunching up the entire top 10 behind her.
And then the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are kind of bunched together here as well. I think Talberson's definitely faster than Alicia Byrne. She's just not able to make the move stick. But I think Davison might be faster than both of these cars. How about AWSCO back here in the 60 car? Again, another pretty solid run for AWSCO, who kind of just very neutrally glided into the bracket. She got knocked out last week in Indianapolis, but AWSCO is she's been running pretty well lately. Oh, the 17, Dura Reister is having problems.
Scary situation for Schliesenbach there, but that's really unfortunate.
Reister will get to the apron. And she will make it back to pit road.
It's a lot of...
Schliesenbach lost a lot of spots from that, though.
A lot of teams with engine issues early on.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of saw this yesterday, too. With the hot temperatures here, it's 88 degrees today. 88 degrees tonight. Not a lot of wind. It's going to be rough on these engines. Ellie, you got word on Dara Reister's car?
Yeah, it looks like that 17 car's team is reporting that she's got some gearbox issues.
We got a change for 5th place. Rachel Cole has just taken it away. Although, she might not have it taken away for long because Carly Byrne's trying to get it back. again, that's another thing here. Garnston is not that slow.
Yeah, and she's definitely hoping to get
She wants a
her
caution.
lap back.
If she gets a caution, she'll get one of her laps back. Assuming we don't catch any more lap cars. Garnston is on fresh tires. That is true. Garnston is in fact on fresh... No, she's not. No, she's not. Yeah, the 27's not on fresh tires. They only did damage repair on that stop. See a fight for second here with Talberson and Alicia Byrne. 39's had enough of staying behind the 91. And she'll drive off in one and two. So, the 8 getting held up a bunch there actually moved her behind Abby Little. So Little now stands ahead of the 8 car in the bracket so far.
Little 3-wide action back there for a minute.
Alicia Vebbels would be having a solid run. She's in 19th, but she's still behind Alicia Byrne by quite a decent bit. There's not really a close battle between cars in the bracket and cars. There's not really a close battle between the cars that are in the bracket right now, but we may see that change later on.
Jasmine has just opened up a 2-second gap on Talberson now.
Yep.
And Talberson is making up time slowly, but...
Carly Burns finally trying to get by Garnston. Oh, and the caution is out. Oh, we got cars around. It's Vancy. And Handstrom as well. And Felicia Vancy in the playoff transfer spot coming into this race. Oh, we're gonna watch the race onto pit road, but major playoff implications there, as Felicia Vancy, the driver who was in that final spot, she was in there by just 13 points. McJasmo wins the race out. Talberson, Byrne, Davison, Carly Byrne, AWSCO, Cole, Tolerone, Stoneman, and Chantaze.
Yeah, Audie Stoneman had a good pit stop.
I'm going to export right now just to be safe. So we're going to get you caught up with the everything that's happened. Okay, first let's go to the 27. All right, so here we're on lap 23. Kind of getting touched by Alicantes, and that's where the damage comes from. And that would explain why she's not that slow, because she didn't even really hit anything. Yenfi Yanaga. We're going to take a look at the 46. See what happens to her. 62 just gets into her and ooh. Hits the inside wall pretty hard. Keeps the car going. I don't know why she did an extra lap, but she did. And now we'll take a look at the incident involving the 19 of Arlen Handstrom. Oh, right there. Oh, geez. Mika Harina was involved as well. Oh, Vinci just has nowhere to go. Blocked in by everybody and... Oh no, the 60 is on the apron. She's got a smoking engine.
And it continues.
So we're green flag racing. I didn't even realize we were taking the green. Okay. Anyways, we're back to green flag racing here from Iowa. Ellie, do you have any word on what happened to Arlen Handstrom?
Yeah, it looks like she ended up having some engine issues that ended up kind of like messing with her performance, and they had to take her out.
Well, if not from the engine issues, it could also be from the damage she sustained in that accident.
Yeah, that looked like a hard hit for the 19. Well, surprisingly, this race has been more about attrition than anything else. We've had probably 4 or 5 different engine failures. And we're not even a quarter of the way through this race.
Only the one caution, though. And McJasmine continues to lead. As, oh, we got another car blowing up. It's Paislinuria.
Again. And that might bring out another yellow.
That's a bracket car, too. She was against the 9 in the bracket. I don't think it will bring out a yellow. She's off the
surface.
She's in the apron.
Wow.
And yep, we'll stay green.
I hate to say commentators curse there, but...
Ellie?
Yeah, I've got word from the 82 and the 60 team. Both have sustained similar damage, and there's rumors on the radio right now of both teams kind of insinuating that the weather is running pretty hot, and they think that's what's really a big factor here, causing, well, their engines to not just be able to handle going this hard and this fast for so long.
Move for second. Carly Byrne has taken the spot. And again, here's another thing that I'm going to point out. The 82 being out has taken her out of the bracket. The 9 of Carly Byrne has advanced officially. That means the 9 of Carly Byrne has advanced. The 1 of Alicia Vancy out of the race. That means that the 32 Cynthia Rareston has advanced. But yeah, again, this is a track where it's very hot and dry, which is not something that they're very used to running in with these cars. In the summer months, especially here in the summer months in Iowa, it's very hot and dry, so these engines don't get a lot of opportunity for cooling. And you're kind of seeing the results. They're here.
I mean, Jasmina isn't running the lower line like she was earlier, and that has allowed the cars behind to start to catch up. I'm not sure the philosophy on that. Maybe trying to take it a little easier on the car, given the myriad of engine failures we've had. But now Andrea Davison.
I think
is
McJasmine
right
is.
there.
I think McJasmine is not as good on the short run. I think that's what it is because we saw the 6 take that gap, but she did it like much. She did it after about 30 laps or so. I think the 6 just isn't as good on the short run.
Looks like the opposite is true for Davison, who is really hounding her now. And there we see the 6 car find its 7th gear.
And now we gotta fight for second. The 9 of Carly Byrne. Looks to the inside on the 22 of Davison again. That's another. There we go. And Carly Byrne, who started on the pole, hasn't even led a lap this race. So she's got the 1 bonus point for winning the pole, but she wants to get another bonus point for leading a lap. Fastest lap right now belongs to the 71 of Abby Little. The second fastest lap is the 8 of Laurie Schliesenbach, actually. So, and those two are pretty close to each other, actually. They're 19th and 21st right now. Mimi Marino trying to hold off Audie Stoneman, but it looks like Stoneman's actually going to get by her on the outside. And, you know, as we're seeing the track groove in, we're kind of seeing the outside lane pick up some more grip. Jasmine still leads. Marisha Vebelst.
Off the
And
nose of
Abby
Abby Little
Little.
manages to save it.
She hangs on to it and stays in front of the 71 too. I'm sure Marisha will have some words about that. And I don't think they'll be very kind ones.
No, the 93 is right there too. Not the ideal location to make a move like that.
And it's Marisha. I think everybody knows Marisha will just be Marisha. Bevel's still trying to hold off the 71 on the outside. Little will clear the 99. We may see a fight for the lead here very soon because here comes the 9 of Carly Byrne. She's really closed up on McJasmina. There's Angeli Rugatino fighting with Halis Jukovic back here for the 12th position. '71 of Abby Little with the 55 of Bria DeLaude. Abby Little's starting to climb up through the field. She's starting to gain some decent spots. Byrne has fallen a little bit back of McJasmina now. Maybe...
Yeah, maybe I was... Sorry, maybe I was wrong to criticize McJasmina's move there.
Maybe you were
Maybe
right,
outside.
because here comes the 9.
Yeah. Eat my words immediately.
Fighting for 4th Alicia Byrne and Tabrisia Toleron. This is a pretty good run for Tabrisia. She needs a good run. And she needs to actually finish a good run off, too, because we've said she's having a good run quite a few times. But she ends up having some kind of issue that just completely ruins it. More often than not. So Audie Stoneman, Lily Talberson here for 6th. How about Audie Stoneman in the 10 car? And she's another one. She's one of the drivers who's trying to hunt down that playoff spot. And now with Vancy out, she's got a really good. She's in a really good spot to do so. But here's the thing: Carly Byrne doesn't have a win yet this season. Carly Byrne's pretty well back in points. She's back in 26th. She's 78 points behind the cut line. She pretty much needs a win. There's no real way she can get in on points unless she has an absurdly good run the next few races, and the other drivers don't. The other drivers all wreck out or something. Carly Byrne has pretty much nothing to lose. She looks to the inside on McJasmine as she tries to get underneath, and she will. Pushes the 6 off the track just a bit. Doesn't have the lead yet, though. And I think McJasmine will clear. And Andrea Davieson's just watching these two, hoping that she can take advantage at some point. I'm not sure about anything going on back here. Oh, Rarest Little, how did they save that?
Oh, Abby Little, silly Rarest.
I don't know how. Both of them saved those cars. That's crazy.
That was some tandem drifting down through the corner.
I thought we were for sure seeing a wreck. But those two clearly have some really good talent. For both of them to be able to keep their cars straight like that.
Absolutely incredible driving.
Here we go, fight for the lead again. Carly Byrne to the inside. And this time she tries it in 1 and 2. Which has been better off for the car on the bottom, but McJasmine is able to stick up top. Byrne really...
in, but she got loose there.
And the 9 car also tried to kind of push her out of line. 9 car gets the lap lead, so officially will count as a lead change. Oh, and she's getting touched by the 22. Gets on the apron, but hangs on to it. Well, Carly, you got the lap lead, but at what cost? Gosh, they are so aggressive right now. And I'm not really sure why. We're only a quarter of the way through.
I'm sure there are some AWSCO fan accounts online who will have some fun with that one. A lot of good saves this race so far.
Yeah.
Just enormous amount of talent being shown by these drivers. And Byrne really trying to get a nose in on the 6. She committed, but McJasmine held her line the whole way, had to check up.
Carly Byrne still trying to get back to the 6 car here. seeing Alicia Byrne reel them in now. Alicia Byrne's actually dragged the gap to under a second now, but she was pretty well back, but she's dragged herself back up to under a second back.
There's a pretty good distance between these top 4 and the rest of the field. And 3-second gap between 5th and 10th place. Very strung out outside of this top 4. At least in comparison to how it started. Something interesting going on with the bracket battles is Abby Little has climbed through the field, now up to 12. You also see the 8 car, who's slowly been recovering after getting held up by a failing car earlier, climbing up almost as fast. That might be a fun battle here come the end.
Yeah, it could. Seeing there, Abby Little going past Ejavida, that's 11th. We may see the 9 try and take the 6 for the lead again.
Carly Byrne has not hesitated to use the bumper today.
No, she has not. But I don't think anybody's really been hesitant to use the bumper. She's looking to the inside here. She's kind of getting to the 6 car, but she just can't quite get clear of the 6 car. Although, to be fair, I think she would have had the 6 car clear last time she attempted the pass if the 22 wasn't hooking her onto the apron. Back here, we're looking for some more bracket battles. There's where Marisha Vevel sits back in 21st. Similar Rariston right here in 12th. There's Rariston and Little again.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it when it happened, but Rariston making that save along with Little saved her chances in the bracket.
Well, Rariston was already advanced in the bracket because her competitor was the 1 car Avanci, who's already out of the race, so...
My mistake.
But it did save the 71. Because obviously the 8 is still around.
Carly Byrne has not let up the pressure on McJasmine even a second.
No.
Past 20 laps.
And, you know, despite the fact that this race has had its aggression, I am kind of surprised with how relatively clean it has been. As we see, Abby Little has made the pass for 10th on Rachel Cole. Carly Byrne still putting pressure on McJasmine.
Yeah, even though I'm biased, I would like to shout out Abby Little. Already got up in 2 near incidents, now in the top 10.
Yeah.
Just a lot of perseverance from that driver.
And hey, 32nd seed in the bracket, but it's not been a problem for her so far.
I mean, we talk about this, especially coming towards the playoffs. I mean, the most important part is making it into the dance. What happens after that is what happens after that.
Yeah, I mean, she's already in. She got that win at Michigan. But also being able to advance to the bracket is pretty big for her as well here. As here comes the 9 car to the inside on the 6 again. Side by side off of turn number 4.
Let up.
6 really drove it deep in 1 and 2, and she'll stay clear. Carly Byrne, I think, kind of got held up with the 21 just kind of using the or not the 21, the 6 using the outside there. The 9 had to check up just a bit. And we saw yesterday in the Continental race that clean air is pretty key here.
These top 4 have been under a blanket for a long time now. You just wonder which one's gonna break first.
Well, Carly Byrne's been trying to break for a good bit, but she just can't seem to puncture through. The 6 has done a really good job defending the lead. But it does feel like it's only a matter of time before the 9 and the 22 kind of break through.
Yeah, the 6 hasn't really had the chance to pull away like last run.
Yeah. I think some of these cars just made some better adjustments. You see Lily Talberson's dropped out of the top 10 now as Sylvia Rareston's gotten by her, as well as Abby Little. You see Arena Tosima here as well. 13th spot right now. Yeah, pretty well. It's calmed down quite a bit here in Iowa right now. I think a lot of these drivers are just kind of trying to keep, just trying to run their race. You know, if we do
got a long race ahead of us.
If we do go long enough, we could end up seeing green flag pit stops.
What's the fuel window look like for these cars?
100. It's about 100 laps. We saw them start green flag pit stops in the Continental race yesterday, but a caution came out mid-cycle, so we never got to finish green flag stops. See the 9 car look to the inside again on the 6, but not able to do anything. This track has the same thing. This track has the same thing in Vegas, is where the flag stand, it always looks like the caution flag is out, so I literally can't rely on the flag stand to tell if there's a caution or not.
I was gonna say Schlichenbach is making that outside line work, trying to get past Jarsaraj, but I don't think that would have aged well now looking back.
She's doing okay. Although I think Jarsaraj is actually passing her. Jasmina still holding on to the lead. Seeing this battle for the 5th spot as Mimi Perino really drove deep on Toblerone there, but makes the pass.
Very, very aggressive from the 3.
Wouldn't that be a crazy storyline to see Mimi Perino in victory lane?
They were talking a big talk about that team earlier in pre-race.
Yeah, before our truck exploded or whatever happened. pretty well single filing out. I don't see a single side-by-side battle right now, so you know what that means? A train race. It's train race, bad race.
Somebody honk the horn.
No real battles right now. I think they're just kind of saving up their stuff, just trying to just run laps down.
You know, I like Carly Byrne's strategy of being aggressive and not letting McJasmine have a chance to save her stuff, but on the other side of that, I worry about her engine. She's been running up right behind that 6 car for so long, and we've seen so many engine failures today. At some point, she's going to have to let off and let the car breathe.
These two are just kind of, they're just kind of... I think that's what Carly's doing right now, though. Kind of just sliding back, just letting it breathe a little bit, and then going for the move after just a bit here. Arena Tosima is in 12th spot now. So if you're curious about our Brickyard 400 winner and our, well, 4-time winner this year, there's where she is. And Tosima has had a very, very impressive season. Obviously, including the Brickyard 400, winning at Daytona, winning the All-Star race, and then she won at Sonoma and Phoenix as well. Interestingly, Irina Tosima actually set the mark for the second most wins of any driver at Evans Ross Racing across all series last week at the Brickyard, which is a rather impressive stat to have considering that all of her wins have come this year. See Byrne making a look again here to the inside. Oh, she did push the 6 out of the way.
That slowed her entry, though, and that allowed the 6 to continue. And
oh, the 6 just cut her off. McJasmine was just barely clear. Seeing right here, there's the 2 drivers in the top 2 in points. Malikson and Nihale. Battling for the 26th spot. The good news for those 2, though, is that being in the... Despite the fact that they're in the... they're this far back, Harlan Hanstrom is 39 points behind them. And Hanstrom is also out of the race. So, the only real driver that has a chance to take their spot, to take a spot there towards the... well, they can't even lose it this race, actually. Neither of them could lose the points lead this race. Because Arena Tosima in 4th is actually 42 points behind Nihale. Now, in theory, Tosima could get up to 2nd in the points, but... it will probably take another Tosima win for that to happen. So they're starting to catch up to a lap car here. That may make things interesting. We saw that in the Continental race yesterday. A lot of the race, a lot of what happened at the front was dictated by getting through lap traffic. Especially when the cars were bunched up like this.
And we know is that Mika Harina has damage from incident earlier too. So
yeah.
This might... This might be Carly's chance. Oh, they bunch up a bit.
They are bunching up quite a bit here. Yeah, there she goes. Gonna try to do the gonna try to pin the 6 behind the 34, but the 34 is gonna pin them both. Big Byrne had the lap led there. Oh, Carly Byrne got loose.
Oh, it was sketchy.
But she manages to hold on, and she'll finally get clear of McJasmina. And we have a new leader. It is the 9 of Carly Byrne. Although we'll see for how long she maintains it.
Yeah, because she's got two very hungry drivers right behind her. Now, thankfully, the 34 is kind of pinning them down. At least for Carly Byrne. But she's going to lose that luxury here in a moment.
'71 has caught up to this group. She was pretty well behind this group, but she's closed up quite a bit. So Carly Byrne now out front. So we've finally had that lead change. Alicia Byrne is kind of falling asleep in 4th right now, 2 seconds back. She's 4 seconds ahead of the next car and 2 seconds behind the first car in front of her. Seeing Ava Jarsaraj has gotten around Lily Talberson. Talberson, who was the early leader of this race, has now started to kind of fall back a little bit. And Carly Byrne is really starting to gap the 6 car now. You're seeing that the 9 car is now starting to do what Giammi was doing earlier, and she's starting to gap the leaders a little bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see pit stops in about 20 laps or so. And in fact, maybe even less, because they did come to pit road around lap 70 or so. That would be about where the window is. So pit stops are kind of on the horizon here. Still just kind of very calm and relaxed, very spread out right now. Well, I say that, and then I get to this group of cars, which is just everything. So for an update on each little bracket race, which I'm going to do now, Little runs 9th compared to Schliesenbach in 15th. Carly Byrne's advanced over Uria because Uria's out of the race. McJasmine is still in 2nd, whereas the car she's battling, Perry Alicantes, is in 17th right now. Alicia Byrne is in 4th compared to Marisha Webelst, who is in 23rd. Rareston's already in over Vancy as more contact from Yatica and Webelst. Michele Yatica runs in 24th, whereas Audie Stoneman, who she's battling, is right here in the 7th position. Irina Tosima is in 11th, whereas Taylor Happeman is all the way back in 30th spot. And then Yania Waterton right here in 27th compared to Ava Jarsaraj, who is sitting 12th. There's your bracket update here on lap 160.
You know, I'm surprised that the top 3 are still out as far as they are, but I'm even more surprised that Carly Byrne hasn't been able to run away with it.
I am kind of surprised as well, yeah. She definitely looked like she would be running away with it, but the 6 and 22 have kept pace. You see Abby Little. You see, actually, Arena Tosima has gotten past Sinlia Rariston for 10th. So we're putting Tosima into the top 10 now. So we're starting to approach green flag pit stops. I think they'll be in the conversation very, very soon. We're gonna start seeing cars come down pit road in just a little bit. Rariston now fighting back on Tosima, trying to get 10th back. Jasmine is still hanging with Carly Byrne. Well, as it stands right now, because Carly Byrne is leading, she would be in. As we see the 34 coming up pit road, and we see the 3 of Mimi Barino is also coming in early, so she's gonna try to undercut. She's gonna try the undercut here, and we've got our first set of green flag pit stops. Irish Schliesenbach, I see Abby Little, Youngwei Koo is in, Perry Alicantes, Carly Byrne, early taker now. From the race lead, the 9 car comes down pit road. And we are seeing green flag pit stops here from Iowa. 1 caution to speak of so far through the first 168 laps. 6 car McJasmine comes down pit road. So Andrea Davison will take the lead, and Davison, is the 21. They're smoking in front of her. Can't tell if the caution is out or not, but I don't think it is. Oh, no, it is. Caution is out.
How lucky is that for Andrea Davison? Her teammate blew up in front of her and brought out the caution.
And Davison chose to stay out another lap here. Things are going to get real messy. Second caution of the day, and Davison will come down pit road.
And all the cars who chose to stay out... Oh, Taylor Happman has damage.
31? Does she?
Sorry, might have been a graphical issue.
Oh, no, I see it, I see it. She does have a little bit of side damage. Looks like the 6 of McJasmine will be officially considered... Okay, nope, I'm lying. The 9 of Carly Byrne will be the free pass car. The 9 of Carly Byrne will officially be the free pass car. However, there's probably going to be several cars that take the wave around here. A lot of cars are choosing to come back down pit road. Which is a very interesting decision. Well, let's go back and see what happens to bring out the yellow. It appears that Amani Wandayo had some sort of issue. Oh yeah, there the engine just blew. And
Yeah,
she just couldn't get down to pit road. Oh, Davison. Yeah, she didn't make it to the apron. She stopped on the track. Yep, that is in fact what brought out the caution.
Yeah, I wonder how race officials are gonna feel about that, seeing as at the time her teammate was leading.
All right. Well, wave around will take place now. And we will give them an extra lap of yellow just to get around.
It looks like Davison has damage on the front end as well.
She might. Top 7 all stayed out. Top 7 all were staying out on that pit cycle. So, Andrea Davison, Mika Gennaro, Irina Tosima, Michele Yatica, Sophie Chantaze, Yappy Malikson, and Yania Waterton. Which means that we're going to have a whole host of cars that get waved around. And that also means we're going to have another lap of yellow to let them get caught up. So we'll have, I think, 17 cars on the lead lap here. Well, now we have the so now we have the signal that they're going to go back green. Lap 175, 175 laps completed. Ellie, you got a word on what happened with Wandayo?
Yeah, it looks like her team ended up evaluating that it was a valve issue. It looks like it cracked.
Well, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate way for the race to end for Amani Wandayo. Green flag is back out though. Andrea Davison leading. But for how long? Because now here comes the 42 of Mika Gennaro.
Gennaro, another one of those drivers who kind of needed a day like this.
Yeah. And you see now as well, you know, this has shuffled up quite a bit of the order, but Yappy Malikson here is up into 6th spot right now as she's fighting off Yania Waterton. Gennaro's still looking underneath the 22. See the 52. As now Gennaro to the inside on the 22, and this time it looks like she'll have the lead. New leader is out front is the 42 of Meika Gennaro.
I mean, we're seeing now 3 of the top 5 are all Toyotas. Then 3 cars right after the top 5 are all Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, oh yeah. That's both Inverness racing cars up here too, because Yatica and Chantase are up here as Davison goes for the lead goes to try to take the lead back.
Little help from Tosima there. You know the fans are gonna like seeing Davison up at the front.
Yeah, Davison, fan favorite here in AWSCO. Ellie, what's up with the what do you got? You got word on the 52 of Rachel Cole?
Yeah, it looks like she's got an oil leak or had an oil leak last time we heard from her team.
Well, they've obviously patched it up because she's back out on the track, but still unfortunate for her. Carly Byrne has gotten up to 6th spot. Mimi Marino, unfortunately, still trapped a lap down. Marino is actually scored as the first car 1 lap down right now. So if another caution were to come out, then, well, she would get the free pass. She's right there side by side with her teammate Waterton. Andre Davidson's gotten the lead right back. As we got a spin in the back of the field. We got a big crash in the back of the field. Parking Schliesenbach. Caution is out. Harina spun around. Tabrizia Tolerone. Looks like Mick Jasmine was involved a little bit. And well, I was talking about getting a caution to get back on the lead lap.
How lucky for Mimi Barina.
Yeah. 8 car of Lori Schliesenbach has some big damage.
A lot of cars showing damage. And I think with how banged up that 8 car is,
That, I believe,
that's gonna advance Abby Little in the bracket.
I believe it will. I'll see it can somehow get back out. That would mean that Abby Little will continue her wonder run in the bracket. Right side tires for most cars on pit road here. Third caution, Gennaro gets out second. Yatica third, Tosima fourth. Chantase fifth. And it'll be Carly Byrne off sixth. And Mimi Marino's just saying hello to her teammate and co-owner there. So, Andrea Davison has the lead. We're going to go back and see what happens to bring out our third caution of the day. So what, we're 3 wide here. Does it happen ahead? Oh, it happens right there. Oh, it's Garnston. Jeez.
Alicia Bird.
Yeah, Byrne gets into the
Byrne's at
27. Just gets into the 27, pushes her across the track, nowhere for Schliesenbach to go. And a lot of these cars just have nowhere to go. They're all bunched up. Ajar Siraj is out of the race as well. So that should move. That should move on. That will move the 13 on in the bracket. So Davison, Gennaro, Yatica, Tosima, Byrne, Chantaze, Waterton, Malikson, Alicia Byrne, and Cinlia Rariston are the top 10. Mimi Barino has gotten back on the lead lap. I'm going to make sure that she doesn't have a penalty. Green flag is out.
Gennaro got a good start.
Gennaro got a very good start.
Oh,
She's on the 22, almost hooks her. How about Yappy Malikson pushing through here on Sophie Chantaze? Oh, Tosima and Byrne make contact.
Oh,
Byrne makes
there
more
goes the
contact
race
with the Autica. They all save it somehow.
Save that.
Everybody saved it. And I'm not really sure how, but they did. Things are getting crazy here in Iowa. And many cars that got trapped a lap down are climbing back up towards the top 10. How about DeGabby Abriella? She's in 10th spot. This is a very good run for Abriella.
A big run for that team too, because Janet Parkins got involved in that last incident, kind of messed up whatever day she was having.
Well, Parkins was already a lap down as you see Garnston coming down pit road.
So yeah, Alicante is driving a modified out there.
Yeah, she's just trying her best. I mean, she's still actually pretty close to the driver she's battling in the bracket. Because McJasmine and Alicantes are against each other in the bracket. How about Yappy Malikson, who's moved up to 4th, as we have a caution as the 32 and the 10 are around.
Howdy Stoneman.
And Cinlia Rariston. Yeah, that's another bracket implication. The 10 was against the 92. This car's raced back to the line. Looks like the 64. Looks like we had another wreck afterwards as the 55 of Delata's upside down.
Marisha Vebel's involved.
I may know where that started. Nihil is the free pass car. Looks like some cars are going to stay out.
Scary to see a car upside down on a track like Iowa. I would love to see what happened to cause that.
Well, we're going to focus on pit stops first here. And the
Gennaro
42
gonna
gets the
beat
lead out of pit
Davison
road. 22,
Alex in
23, 9, 93. I don't know where Tosim is going. Well, there were two incidents there that we are going to take a look at. Michele Yatka and Izzy Javida opted to stay out. So, first let's go back and see the 32 and the 10s incident. Oh, the 13 gets hooked by the 26 into the 32, gets clipped by the 64, and then Stoneman, just can't get away.
60. The Circle K car also got significant
Nihil, yeah.
damage from that.
And then what in the world happens between Vebelst and Delad? Oh. Delad kind of just hooks herself.
What a weird string of events.
Yeah, no kidding. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna take the green flag next time. Yatika and Ijavida have chosen to stay out. Then it's Gennaro, Davison, Malikson, Carly Byrne, Irina Tosima, DeGabi Gabriella, Lily Tauberson, Alicia Byrne. Nietzsche Garnston gets waved around as being a lap car in between the top 10, so she gets one of her 3 laps back. She will be 2 laps down now. We'll take the green flag again at exactly halfway. And I do know you're feeling sick, so thank you so much for sticking it out up here for as long as you did. I do really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I hope to see you again fairly soon in another one of these. Green flag back out. And we're racing again in Iowa. Battle for third. Davison already going for the spot on Gennaro. Malikson now takes the spot from the 42 as well. Davison pressuring Ijavida here. Pressuring her a lot. She gets into her. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to send you to the FanDuel Fan Studio with Rashi and Ellie for our mid-race reports. And with how much chaos has been going on here, I think we need a little bit of a mid-race break here from that as Davison and Ishavi to make more contact. All right. Down to the FanDuel Fan Studio with Rasha and Ellie. Take it away.
Once again, where we're going, there are no rails here at Iowa Speedway, as things have definitely taken a turn for the chaotic. Taken a turn for the chaotic with multiple cautions leading up to this mid-race report. Most recently, you just saw the 99 and 55 get into it after crossing the line to take the yellow with a car with the 55 with a lot. Obviously coming out with the short stick, they're upside down into turns 1 and 2. Which I believe just about sums up this race. At least the last 40 or so laps since we had that caution for the 21 of Amani Hondayo. Things have just been absolutely smitten here. at Iowa. Riley, what are you making of this right now? Things are a bit insane.
Well, I mean, compared to the Continental race here, I would say it's even more insane and more chaotic than the race that the Continental ran here. It has been great to watch. Like, the first half was also chaotic as well. And then they had a short break from around, like, lap 90 to, like, 130 where it was just calm, and then all of a sudden they just backed down from that and doubled down on being chaotic again. It's been a very interesting race. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know what's happened in the last few laps here, but obviously the field's been shaken up quite a bit as we see the 92 of Michele leading the way here. The two Inverness cars really taking advantage of that mid-cycle caution. Both of them moved up to the top 5 on the restarts. 26 has fallen back to 8th now, but the 92 continues to hold the lead here as he's being chased by the 23 and 22 to the remaining red cars in the race, I believe. Then the pair of Evans Ross Racing cars, the 9 and 39 and the 93 actually. It's a trio now, but it was the pair of them that were running up front. But now the 93 of Tosma has also joined them, another driver who took advantage of that pit cycle shuffle there. But this has been the name of the game. It's easy to get to the leader, but it's definitely difficult to make that pass work. We saw the 9, I think, of Carly Byrne take upwards of 50 laps just to get a move out on the 6 of Johnny McJasmine in that long green flag run. Tried multiple times to get around, and it ultimately took a lap car to 34 of Mika Hawina to get around there. Looks like that seems to be the case again. Clean Air definitely making things work here up front at Iowa.
Yeah, Clean Air has been like a really major factor here, but even when there's lap traffic, we've seen people hang on to it or drivers hang on to it for so long. It's really hard to get past once the driver is out front. Once the person you want to pass is out front, it's really hard to get past them.
Yeah, so watching the two ERR cars here, 93 and 39 fighting. This one here, I believe this is for the 5th position. The 93 of Tosma will pass her teammate, moving up now to the top 5. Good run by that 42 so far as well. Gennaro has been running top 10, pretty much top 10, top 15 pretty much the entire day. We'll see if that 42 can maintain this run. Of course, Southwest Racing having their own. They've had a bit of a horror show in the last however many months now, consistency-wise, especially results. As we see now the 23 approaching the rear bumper of the 92. We'll see if she elects to make use of the front bumper here on the 92. Doesn't look like it. Looks like she's just going to try to send it. Fairly clean here, but the 92, again, using that outside line. If you have a strong outside line, a strong car on the outside line, you can really take advantage of the grip up there, especially as the run goes on to defend from any potential threats. We'll see if the 92 can hang on here, but doing well so far. 23, not really getting help from the 22 here. So Poconos ahead there. But once again, Yataka just be able to clear. Should be able to tuck in just barely. But she'll get there. Let's drag the 9 of Carly Byrne into this as well. Let's look at the rest of the top 10 now. Trying to say 8th Javido, you saw her early in the mid-race report, racing aggressively with the 22. 96 of Angeli Rugatino sits in 10th place. Then the rest of the field here, to the 91, 71, 20, 31, and 3, 13, 15, and 99. 55 of the law, despite being upside down, is still here. Then these two, a couple more damage cars, 64, 62, and 38. And the 27, I think, is the last. Nope, the 52 is still running. Speaking of, the 52 is being caught relatively quickly by these guys. 23 getting bottled up. I'll open up a window there for the 22 of Davison to pass. Davison obviously eliminated from the bracket last week, but still running very well today.
Yeah.
Just kind of unfortunate that the 22 happened to come on the 71, who also was running really well at Indy. Because these two drivers have been really good, both of those guys. 92 really getting held up by the 52, but the 22 won't be able to take advantage. It'll be the 9 of Carly Bird that looks to take a
We're going
position
3
away.
wide.
But 3 wide, that actually helped the 22. Being in the middle lane there, the 9 was forced to check up, and there's going to be no position changes between the top 4, between the top 2 anyways. Just the 9 and 23 changing spots. But what that does do, look who's here, the 93! The two the 2 ERR cars that were giving chase to the top 4 have caught up once again. The 39 is stuck behind the 52. That might turn into a top 5 battle then. With 2 red racing cars, 2 ERR cars, and the lone Inverness racing car.
Oh!
Yatica, more aggressive driving there between the... What was that, the 93 and 9? Was it those two?
Oh, no, I was looking back at the 39.
Oh, okay.
The car she was stuck behind got
The
shoved
52,
out.
yeah, shoved out of the way.
The 39
But yeah,
got back.
here we go. 22 of Davison clears the 92 of Yatica for the lead. Lots of things happening all at once here. 22 is going to take the lead now. And another lead change here in Iowa. Which, yeah, this kind of been the name of the game. You'll get these occasional lead changes.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen a car really run away with it, you know, since the 6 very early on. And even then, that was snuffed out by the first caution of the day, so... It's been very competitive at the front of the field. Of course, seen some of that pit strategy, but again, we haven't seen a full cycle take a... Full cycle kind of, take its, take its shape. Take its course, I should say. In either one of these, of the races that we've covered this weekend, so... Not really anything... I don't really know what to expect if there is a full green flag cycle. I don't know if there will be one. There might be... I think we have the opportunity for like 1, maybe 2 more. Probably 1 more.
I would give
one more chance at one,
Yeah.
anyways. And I'm not sure what's going to happen then. We might get a caution that interrupts that before we get there. But now the 22 of Davis is starting to pull away a little bit from the 92. Looks like that car has pretty good long run pace here. But yeah, racing-wise, things have been fairly close between the 2 lanes of traffic. At least on the inside. You can pass on the inside, but you really do need a strong car. Especially in the center of the corner, I think. That's where cars are losing time trying to pass other cars by forcing them out to the outside.
Yeah. The inside has been dominant, but there is this second line that is really good for defensive,
Yeah.
just defensive moves.
Like Shanto say here, up to 6th, but under threat from the 96 of Rugatino. These 2 cars were 9th and 8th and 10th last time we checked up on them, so these 2 cars making progress. You see the 96 there doing really well on the inside. And passing the 26, and that'll be for 6th position. Not much changing here. 39 is falling back now. Losing spots again. The 71 of Abby Little now threatening here.
Little has looked pretty fast today. She's just outside of the top 10.
Yeah,
right
she's been quick, at least from a top 10. At least has a top 10 car, I think. We'll see if she can do anything there. Maybe another caution might shake things up there as well. But this pack of cars kind of running a few seconds back. But looking at the front here, more lap traffic. 22 dealing with the 27 of Garnston now. 92 still hasn't gotten around. That'll give just a bit of extra time for the 22 to pull away just that little bit more.
The 22 has looked so fast, especially.
22 on this run is really quick, yes. But yeah, looks like getting around lap car is going to be the name of the game. At least on the long run here. But Ellie, what do you expect in this last half of the race? Do you think we'll get our coveted green flag cycle in its entirety, or do you think this is going to be down to, maneuvering your way around the different cautions that can happen?
We might get one more green cycle. I don't think two.
An opportunity.
Yeah. We have an opportunity for one more, but I think there's a very big possibility that we don't get any, and there's a caution, possibly even just at any moment, just brewing up, and you'll just have to maneuver yourself around those cautions, and you gotta have good track position to really benefit from those cautions in the first place, which could make things be a little tricky for certain drivers trying to win or get up in points here, but yeah, that's just kind of how Iowa has been all day and yesterday in the Continental series.
Yeah. One final note before we go on to our picks. Obviously, reliability has been a bit of a concern here. We saw a lot of cars in the first third of the race drop out due to engine problems. That seems to have tapered out now, which is interesting. Which I wonder if some of these teams just didn't have their engines set up for the right kind of atmospheric conditions. Obviously, this racetrack we're running in the middle of the summer can be a bit tricky for some of these teams.
Well, the Midwest has also had a very hot and humid summer, so I'm not too surprised that these cars are just not well adjusted to it right now.
Wait, the three is running around with no rear end and fighting for a top 10. That's actually kind of impressive. Not sure what they put in this 3 car, but it has been fairly quick despite all that.
Yeah, very fast today.
Threatening to make the top. Well, still in the top 10. The 72 being a lap car, so still in 10th. As this pack now negotiates around the 27 of Nietzsche Garnson. All right, with that, I think we should go to our fan pick segment now. Ellie, we'll start with you once again. What are you looking at here? We have 5 cars running, kind of, in that main pack, but then you have quite a few more cars here, all fighting to kind of lead the second pack, with potentially a caution looming maybe at some point in the race. Do you think the top 5 have the best chance, or do you think someone out here is going to be able to take it?
If I were picking in the top 5, it would be Tosa. I'm gonna be real here. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that she's gonna benefit from a caution, or she's gonna benefit from something. She is always really fast, and at this point, I just really wouldn't be surprised to see her win again. But if I'm going outside of the top 5 here, if I'm really looking outside, the only other car I could really see going for a win here and being able to stick it out as long as possible, it would have to be maybe the 71 or the 39, but I'm not too sure about that, which is why I'm sticking to my main pick of the 93 of Arena Tosma.
Yeah, 39 was quick, but she's really struggled in this run with the traffic, especially fell well back and stuck behind, I think, this 27 car. You can see her there running, I think, 13th place. She is still in the running, but hasn't really had the same pace as she had in the last run here. But yeah, I think it is a safe bet to go with one of the top 5 cars. Let's look around here at the top 5. I'll go with our leader, the 22 of Andrea Davison. She does look very quick in this run, as we see the 62 hitting the apron, coming in for some service. I don't know if that's scheduled or not, but that's besides the point. The 22 of Andrea Davison has looked extremely fast, looked really good passing the 92 on the inside line, and I feel like if anyone's gonna have if any factor is going to decide the race, if this does go green, or God forbid we do have one caution actually, it's going to be how strongly a car is set up to pass on the inside line. I think being able to make moves there seems to be the key to competitiveness in this race, and the 22 struck a lot of confidence in me in the way she passed the 92 of Yatika in that last in the middle of the show here, and I think that's gonna be the deciding factor. Just having a strong car on the inside line, being able to make moves like that, I think that's going to be the thing that separates the 22 out from the rest of the field here at Iowa. And with that, that'll wrap up our mid-race report here. Thank you for joining us here in the FanDuel Fan Studio. We'll take things back over to the booth with Echo and I believe Madison now taking the reins of co-commentator in the booth right now. And well, Echo will take it away from here. Thank you for being in the studio with us, and we'll see you around at the end.
All right, Madison. I understand that Rena left a note with her Fandle fan pick. So, what's Rena's pick? As we have a caution out on track.
She had picked Yappy, I believe. I don't entirely know what the logic behind that is, but she seems to be running pretty well, so I definitely back that pick. And what do you think?
Well, I was gonna take the 9 of Carly Byrne. She's been looking very fast all race. She got the lead. She started on pole. She's been able to drive her way up through the field. I'll say that I think I'm gonna take the 9. I think I'm still gonna take the 9 of Carly Byrne actually.
All right. Well, we have pit stops now.
Well, we
get interesting.
We have a caution. So Janet Parking's got the free pass here. We're gonna take a look and see. Ooh, 22 wins the race out. Then it's the 92. Then the 9 gets third. I'm not sure if the 23 or 93 got fourth. We'll just have to find out. All right. So, where is the 92 going? The 22 just came back down. Oh, never mind. No, she didn't. I thought the 22 came back down pit road, but I am, in fact, lying. As the 13 is pulled down on the apron. What is going on?
Great question. Certainly not good for the 13 then.
Yeah, no, not good at all for her, but the good news for her is she's advanced in the bracket, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, well, I don't know what happened to cause the caution.
I think Race Control's getting tired of all the green flag running and decided, let's keep it consistent, let's have cautions. I don't know. This race seems to lack reason.
See if I can figure it out. Caution is already out here. Oh, there it is. It's Youngwei Koo.
Well,
The 96 and the
that would do it.
31. Yes, that would be caution worthy.
The 96 was coming
96
up
was
from
coming
pit
out of
road,
pit
and-
road and just
Oh, that was a bad merge.
yeah, just not a good merge.
Close call for the 15, just barely missing on the bottom.
All right. Davison, Yatika, Byrne, Malikson, Tosima, Ijavida, Shantaze, McJasmina, Talberson, and Alicia Byrne. The top 10. As we'll head back to green. Ellie, do you know what happened to Yania Waterton?
Yeah, it looks like her team was reporting that she was experiencing some kind of engine issues, and they're not really sure exactly what yet, but it kind of seems to boil down to, well, what we've been seeing with everybody else.
Well, the good news for the 13, she's still out on track. I think she's down a cylinder or something, but here's a battle for the lead. Michele Yatica goes underneath the 22, and the 92 will take the lead.
Is gonna lose 3 stones in one corner here. Maybe gonna be close with Yappy on the
Ooh,
bottom
look
there.
at the 9 of Carly Byrne. She's going for the lead right away.
And blocking aggressively too on the 23.
Carly
Getting
Byrne
very
wants
sketchy
the
out
win.
here in 4.
Carly Byrne knows if she's gonna make the playoffs, she has to win pretty much. There's not really a great chance for her to get in on points. She is driving for her playoff spot right now. How about Isa Javida, who's moved up to 5th? Davidson's dropped back to 6th as Malixon gets
that was
into
close.
Carly Byrne. They were on the apron. And somehow they all managed to hang on. Oh, it's chaotic in Iowa. Yatika holds on to the lead. Yappy Malixon getting aggressive. Everyone's getting aggressive. They know it's getting close to crunch time. But Michele Yatica now out front again. Got up front on a strategy call. Stayed out. And now she's leading this race.
Yappy's gonna have a look for second here on the backstretch into turn number 3. Has a
No.
look, not able to get underneath.
She had the look, but that was about all she did. She just looked.
Byrne looking.
Going.
Byrne getting underneath.
I think she's there. Yes, she is.
I think they'll be side by side in 2 and down the backstretch.
Down the back straightaway, here comes Carly Byrne going for the lead. Pushes the 92 up the track a little bit. Can she get clear off of turn 4? Yes! Carly Byrne now is out front for real.
Looks like the 92 might get freight trained up there if she can't find enough grip on the high side.
Here comes
Yappy's
Malixon.
there. Yappy's going for the lead.
Here comes Tosima going
3
3 wide to the inside.
Byrne up top trying to find the momentum. I think she might have it. Certainly Malixon is alongside into turn number 1. Getting the better entry. Byrne needs to stamp on the power and get... Nope, she isn't.
Can't get it.
Yappy takes the lead.
And Malixon now out front. But don't count out the 93. This car, Irina Tosima, the best, probably might be seen as the best driver in the series right now.
Tell you what, though, they're approaching that 13 car up ahead in a hurry, who is slow, down a cylinder.
Yep.
And that could make it very interesting for all these positions here, particularly third or so, as they're side by side. Yappy getting held up. That's going to allow the 93 to close
It's gonna get
back
held
in.
up, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Here comes
Yeah,
Isa
fine.
Javida. Here comes the
It'll be
2
close
car.
in a second, though.
She just showed up.
Yeah, where does she come from? And the 93 now, as you mentioned, is being held up by the 13. Gonna maybe bot the top 5.
Maybe drop even further than that. I mean, that's the thing we're seeing is that Waterton's okay. She can hold her speed in the corners, but... Oh! Tosima had enough of her.
They keep it straight somehow.
But that was not... that was somehow wasn't a wreck. Alright. I mean, that's one way to pass. Not a good way, but it is a one way.
I think we found an exception to the rules of physics. Still pretty tight out front, though.
Yeah, Javida's now all over Yappy Malixon. Stameka Gennaro and Lily Talberson fighting for 5th here. Top 3 are kind of all over each other right now, but Yappy Malixon is now out front. We saw yesterday in the Continental race, the top driver without a win in points got the win. That was Vinnie Schultz. Malixon's not the top driver without a win, but she's the 2nd highest driver without a win. As the 93 is now blowing up. What?
That's big. And that is potentially out of the race.
Well,
Putrid black smoke coming out of the back, and that might be day over.
that's probably
for the
it.
93.
Here comes Javida for the lead. I don't know if she had
Jennifer's
a line.
not going to take it 3 wide. No, she isn't. Not yet, at least. A rare moment of sanity on this racetrack. I think Javida is clear almost anyway.
No. Malixon's gonna fight
Malixon
back.
fighting by on turn 4.
Oh, So close at the line. Gosh, imagine the finish comes down to that.
I'll say, what's up with the 93?
Yeah, I'm hearing that she's down a cylinder.
That's an understatement. Pretty sure that engine just blew up. So
Yeah, it
93
is.
on track.
She's done. She's off the track. She's down to 8 cylinders. Yeah, that's a good. She's down 8 cylinders. But they're going 3 wide back here. Malikson takes the lead back away from Ejavida. How about Mika Gennaro, who's managed to move up to 3rd? Andrea Davison is out of the top 10 now. Janet Parkins, who got the free pass last yellow, she's actually moved up to 13th. She's gained quite a few positions. Is Ejavida trying to lap her teammate, Rachel Cole?
Malcolm getting held up by a lap car. Not gonna have momentum down the backstretch to get by yet.
Gennaro's going by for a second.
For the lead again.
Oh, here comes Lily Talverson in the 39.
Topperson diving to the bottom for second. Not able to get there.
I mentioned this in the Continental race yesterday, but if we had a photo finish, we would go by the result of the camera and not by the result of NR. If the two disagree.
Well, we'll see if it ends that way. Still have, what, 125 laps left to decide it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, here comes Talberson looking for second on Gennaro.
She's been looking for a while and finally got the chance to come through. Easily into second now.
Talberson clear for second. Yappy Malikson sits in the lead now. And it's been Yappy who's been trying to get that win all season. She's been fast all season. She's had... but she just hasn't been lucky enough to be able to finish at the front when she's run there. Well, she has finished at the front. She just hasn't finished in the top spot. There's a fight for
Pretty
fifth.
much Linus Stern right now. Yeah, fifth has a battle. Top four is Linus Stern. 92 getting momentum on the high side. Will get through.
I want to shout out to
24
Gabby
trying to
Abriella.
follow.
Actually, shout out to Brizia Toller, and she got pretty significant damage in one of those incidents, and she's still in 10th right now. Mimi Barrino is running in 8th. She's battling Chantose to try and stay in 8th. You could see the 3 car doesn't have any rear bumper, and she's still up here in the top 10.
At a track like this, I don't really think having lack of rear bumper is a bad thing, because, I mean, you have a lot less drag with that. So this is kind of a good damage to have, if anything.
Gennaro's taking second back. Carly Burns taking third.
Tell you what, though, the 42 car is right there, looking for the lead, not able to get it. Certainly mounts in under a lot more pressure now than 5 laps ago.
34 cars on pit road. Does not appear to be scheduled.
What's up with the 34?
It looks like she had a tire go down on her.
We might have a battle for the lead here. Malixon under pressure from the 42 car.
Gennaro.
They were side by side. Gennaro coming back in to try and take the lead here. They're side by side. 42 has a nose ahead. And clear in 3. New leader.
New leader, it is Mika Gennaro out front. But Malixon, I don't think, is going to give up.
Absolutely not, no. Nobody's given up tonight in Iowa.
To Gabby Gabriella's moved up to 6th spot. And I will say, very impressive that the 20 is having a really good run. Gabriella's kind of not been able to not been stringing together a lot of good runs lately, but she has had a couple in the last few weeks. She finished 9th at Echo Energy International Speedway. And now she's running 6th right here. Carly Byrne looking to the inside of Lily Talberson.
Absolutely sent it in there, and that's going to hurt Bird on exit. Talberson does keep 3rd for now. And they're approaching more lap traffic. They did get by the 13 a moment ago. Now
Oh, there's a
approaching the
spin up
62.
here.
Oh,
That's
trouble.
cool.
That's a 38.
Oh,
slot.
the 32
my
and the
God.
9 that gets into her. Caution is out.
Caution is out. What a bizarre incident. We'll need another look at that when it's time. But that is huge for Carly Byrne.
Whoa!
Oh.
Marino! Oh, Alicia Byrne got into Carly. And Parkings is in it.
More contact further back.
Very bizarre. And Malixon got the lead on the race back. So a lot of things happening.
Well, the drivers are coming to pit road. That should make things a little bit calmer. After that, I will need to look at that incident to see just what happened. So it started with the 38, I think. And then like 10 other things happened after that.
The 99 and Marisha Vebels is the free pass car. So she's back on the lead lap. Well,
We have a lot to dissect, don't we, from that caution?
yes, we do. Looks like Yanni Waterton's gonna be taking the wave around.
So I think it started with the 38. At least that's the first car that we saw. Youngwei Ku.
Who was the first car that was around? Yep, 18 got into her. Oh dear, McJasmina.
It's a big hit. And then Byrne just has nowhere to go. 38 straightens it out. Big
Yeah,
mistake
Burns
on the
slowed up,
racetrack, and
Carly
that's
slowed
just
up.
situational unawareness right there.
Carly slowed up, but brakes don't work that
Brino
good.
got spun
And then
around by
Tollerone
15.
just gets into the 3. Brino didn't take too many big hits.
Alicia up on her side for a moment and then gets hit by parking. That was close with Zawad.
Malixon, Gennaro, Ijavida, Talverson, Abriella, Yatica, Chantase, Tollerone, Rugatino, Nihil, the top 10.
Well, we are going to have a restart this time, I think. So hopefully it's a little bit cleaner.
Green flag. We're back to racing. And you see there,
Talberson
Talberson
quickly takes third.
Talberson going for third on Ijavida. Still smoke from on the front straightaway. There's Andrea Davison. Jamie McJasmine is still on the lead lap.
Bit more behaved this restart, I think.
"26 cars still running right now. So even though it's been kind of chaotic, there's still a good amount of the field that's still running in the race.
Definitely, and I think if my count is correct, about half of them are on the lead lap.
14 cars on the lead lap, so yeah, about a little over.
Yeah, about 100 laps to go. Certainly a lot to play for here.
And the thing is, as well, is if some of those cars that are a lap down, you know, if we get more cautions, if some of those cars that are a lap down can get in between these cars, you know, in the top 10, they can get their lap back for free, pretty much.
This is true. Certainly, line of Stern right now among the top 3. I imagine as tires fall off, we'll see a bit more aggressive racing. Certainly, as the run goes on in general and the race gets longer and longer. Talbertson looking for second. It's going to be a late move.
Hey, Alicia Burns out of the race, so the 99-91 battle is not at play anymore. The 99 is advanced in that one. With the 10 out of the race, that means the 92 of Yatica is advanced. The 93 out means the 31 of Happerman is advanced. So the only battle still at play right now is the 6 and the 18, which they're separated by a lap. The 6 is on the lead lap and the 18 is not. And also the 18 looks like this.
Yeah. Is she even the first off the lead lap? Certainly won't be for long.
No. Well, she's the second. She's second off the lead lap. Somehow.
Okay, so terrible things happen to Happerman, like, right now. Then I guess she'll get the free pass.
Yeah. Or we get 2 quick cautions and she is stays in the free pass position on the second. Talberson's gotten clear for second. We see a fight for 5th maybe at play here with DeGabi Abriella looking on Sophie Chantazé. A couple Toyotas battling here. So we're at 100 laps to go now. Marisha Vebels is starting to catch some of these cars that are lead lap cars. So I think Marisha Vebels does still have a decent chance at finishing well in this race.
I don't think the rest of the field is going to like that, given some of the antics tonight and how Vebels has a reputation. Malcolmson about maintaining the gap out front anyway, but being kept honest by Halverson right now. 39 not really able to close in, but certainly not dropping back either.
You know, while this race has been chaotic, I will say it has been more of a calm chaotic, I'd say. It's not been, like, super over-the-top chaotic, but it's not, like, extremely calm. I feel like it's got kind of a good balance. Fight for fourth. Here comes Gabriella on Javida. And, you know, Renault was talking in the open about... we might see some of these underdogs perform well. You're seeing it right here. There's Gabriella's running up front. Javida, Shantase, Yatika are all up here. Tabrizia Tolron is 9th.
Absolutely, definitely a lot of shakeup happening, and I think we have a battle for fourth. That's getting very close.
Shantase
trying to get back past Gabriella.
These two fighting for fourth. Two Toyotas battling for that fourth spot.
Malcolmson facing some hot traffic here, including former race win contender Carly Byrne.
Yeah.
That's allowed Halverson to close in quite a bit. Oh, that's not a good spot to catch parkings. I think she's going to get her nose underneath, though. That is a mulligan for Malcolmson.
She'll be okay.
Not to say through to fourth, by the way.
The things this is going to do to the playoff cut line.
Yeah, I'll say. It's already been very chaotic tonight in general, but when you add playoff implications to it, it just gets really something. And you mentioned a calm chaotic, but certainly in the numbers it'll be very chaotic as well.
So again, the maximum number of cars that could be in the playoffs is 22 right now. Because this group is well, struggling because this is a massive chunk of lappers.
It's madness, really. It's like the 13 had a bit of a checkup. That's going to hurt Gabrielle a lot more.
Yatika now battling with Shantase, her teammate, as the 72 and 9 make contact. The 13 comes through. There's more contact, more contact. Shantase's around. Tolron!
Yo is out again.
Caution is back out.
Parking's also with issues.
Parking's is spun a little further down.
My goodness. Certainly a very chaotic group of madness back there, and it exploded.
Taylor Happen will be the free pass car. And right here, this will probably be the final stop. This will probably be the final pit stop today.
Well, I suppose we'll see what the outcome of pit stops is, and then we'll have to look at that incident, which it was already a ticking time bomb pretty much. It was a powder keg ready to be lit, and it exploded.
Yeah, that was probably the incident I think we all saw coming from... I'm not even sure if a mile away is far enough. I think we saw that incident coming from
We saw it coming from Chicago. How about that?
Yeah.
Anyway, the top 3 doesn't seem to have changed as a result of pit stops. Lap cars are coming in. I think this would be a good time to understand what exactly happened with Byrne in the middle of all of that again. So it was already looking chaotic, obviously.
Parkings
And it
gets
starts
into
with
the 9.
Shantase going down below parkings,
Ugh.
and then gets
Shantase kind of got shoved up, and not really much for anybody could.
a little bit. Yeah, the
they could
two
have
locked
done.
together, and the 15 was an innocent victim.
Yeah,
What happened with parkings? Because she spun later.
she did spin after the fact. I'm not sure what happens here.
Oh,
The 13 kind of bumps into her.
13, yeah.
Oh,
No, it's Davies. Yeah, it's just Davison and the 13 get stuck together, and then the 72 is the one who's most hurt as a result of that.
.22 is coming back down pit road.
Well, she's missed pit road, riding round on the apron.
Lights are on the pace car. Malikson, Talverson, Gennaro, Yatica, Abriella, Verino, Ijavida, Vebelst, Nihale, Tolrone will be the top 10 on the restart. We're going to have 86 laps to go. Rasha, you got any word on the 22?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think rails were ever on this racetrack because good lord, we've had more problems here. The 22 reporting a brake problem. They're going to have to bring it in here. Thankfully, it didn't happen right at the restart, so at least she won't be an obstacle to be dealt with.
Yeah, I suppose it's still could be a worse situation, but the field is focusing out front, and they'll be getting back to the restart shortly.
Green flag.
Good shot by Topperson, sticking with the 23.
39 got a very good
Down to
restart.
turn number
Oh,
1.
she's looking.
Malcolmson drifts a little bit high. Topperson not able to get underneath yet. Gonna stay right on the rear bumper through turn 3 and 4. Not able to get there.
Here's a battle for 5th. Mimi Barino is right here for 5th.
Was right there for 5th momentarily. Wasn't able to make that move stick.
May see
How about
Marisha
Vebelst?
Vebelst go for a spot here. Now we see DeGabi Abriella looking underneath for 4th, excuse me. We see Talberson trying to make a peek underneath Malikson for the race lead.
Side by side into turn number 1. Might get there. She has the inside, but that could be worse for momentum. We'll see what Malcolmson can do up high.
Oh, Malikson's
Not able
trying to
complete the quarter
stick.
very well. Topperson has a nose ahead into 3. This is the better corner for the low line. Well,
Yeah,
not
but
really.
Malcolmson fights
Malcolmson
back.
is able to stick it up on top.
Oh,
Easy
Jataka
clear.
and Abriella made contact.
Topperson not giving up though. She's looking again.
How about Marisha Vebelst making aggressive moves, as is her style. Looking for 6th now on Ijavida. We got Talberson looking to the inside for the lead again.
'23 cars certainly up high on the track, and I think Topperson is clear. Certainly will be soon. And new leader, 39.
Talberson back out front.
Abriella is still looking for a way by into 4th, not able to find it yet.
Tolarone's has gotten around Barino. See Rugatino following. You see Gianni McJasmina here as well.
Malkson couldn't pull away for the lead earlier. Could Topperson is the real question.
We'll have to see. I think the 23 just kind of comes into the run a little bit later. Because we saw in that last run, she also lost the lead for a little bit. But she managed to come back and and she's held the lead for a good while.
Malkson is certainly keeping Topperson honest. Topperson runs a bit of a high line, maybe for more momentum, maybe as a result of a mistake.
Here comes Vebels for
now able to
6th.
make the move. Oh, that's a deep dive into turn number 3.
Do you expect any less from Mauricia?
Well, no, I expected a lot more, quite frankly. And she looks like she's going to take 6th. Nope, the 2 car is going to fight back up high. Going to drift wide, though, and lose that spot. Malkson and
Caution is back out. Caution is out. I think the 26 is spun again.
Everybody able to avoid, unlike last time.
Free pass car will be the 18.
Well, maybe that bracket battle is still up for grabs.
Yeah, the bracket battle may actually be in play again here. Oh, and the 31's also going to get waved around here too, because she got waved around last time, but she got a penalty for something, so. Looks like Mimi Barino's coming down pit road.
I'd be surprised if there are any other takers, given we just had a caution where most of the field went to pit road. What happened with Shantase then?
Let's take a look.
She got spun around, I think, in 4 again. Yep.
Yep, 55.
Troublemaker.
Oof.
That's a very square impact on the passenger side.
Yeah, but it's a good thing these cars have really good crush panels.
Yeah, and a good thing we have safer barriers, too.
Yeah. Well, this track is built with only safer barriers. There's no concrete wall in the back. There's only this. They only have safer barriers here.
True. Relatively new track as well.
Nobody will get the extra wave. Nobody will get an extra wave around, so. Well, we're gonna have a 70 to go fairly soon.
Yeah,
And
time
this
is
race-
definitely ticking down, so there's even more reason for aggression.
This race is getting a lot more aggressive as we get down towards crunch time.
It is.
And you know, another thing is that we're gonna see is next week in Richmond. Very, very similar track to this one. It's shaped pretty close. They're almost shaped exactly the same. Although Richmond's just a little bit shorter. But Richmond's gonna be a really fun race.
Definitely, banking is a little bit lower, but tires really matter at a place like Richmond. In fact, fun fact about Iowa, it was Rusty Wallace who was part of the design process for this track.
Yeah, he deliberately
And
designed it
essentially
like
made it very
Richmond.
similar to Richmond.
Yeah.
Well, pace car lights are out, so we will have a restart this time with 70 laps to go.
Actually, Richmond
Robertson will be the leader.
has a little bit more banking than this track because this track is progressively banked from 12 to 14, and Richmond's banking is 14 degrees, just all the way.
Really? That's
Yep.
interesting. Richmond has always looked flatter to me, but, well, the more you learn.
So we have 15 cars now on the lead lap. 18 of 31 are at the tail end here.
Pace car's heading in. We'll have the restart now.
Green flag. And the 39 got a pretty good jump.
That she did. Vettel's already under threat. Brigatino as well.
I think something we're going to see here. The 23 is just not as good on the short run. I think what we're going to see is they're going 3 wide here. Is that the 23 kind of falters a little bit on the short run, but as the run goes on, she'll get better.
Definitely, and assuming this goes green to the end, this will matter a lot. And that is a very lofty assumption.
Ooh.
She's under threat now for second.
Gennaro. Trying to make moves. Here comes Marisha Vebels trying to get underneath Gabriela and Javida. Trying to get back up to 6th.
Still 3 wide down in turn number 3. Gabriela has a nose in there. Vebels not quite clear yet.
Not quite clear yet. They're still
Really
going to be 3
wide.
wide.
Bit of contact. More contact with Vebels. She really wants to get through, and I think she will.
I think she's just clear of... Yeah, she's not clear of the 2 car yet.
Not quite. Now she is.
Now she is. Fight for 3rd. Here comes the 96 of Rugatino. She's kind of come out of nowhere.
Tail end of the top 10. Where did she come from? Yeah.
She really hasn't been up here all day.
5 or 6 spots in a matter of a few laps. She's rapidly closing in for second as well. Right on the rear bumper of Malcolmson.
She's right on the rear bump of the 23, almost making contact.
I think there's a bit of a nudge in turn 4. Not going to make the dive just yet for second, though. Yeah.
Gennaro.
Some action, isn't it?
Gennaro's going to throw a wrench in that, though. She's going to try to fight for 3rd. She's going to slide up in the corner.
Drifting high, Rigatino crowded up almost to the wall. It's one way to defend 3rd.
Yeah, that's kind of how you have to do it here sometimes. That's how we've seen a lot of the passes for the lead go.
Absolutely.
Car on the inside just kind of pushes the car on the outside up a little bit. Push them out of the groove a tiny bit. Meanwhile, Marisha Vebels is starting to climb up through the field. She's actually closing in for 5th. I would not be surprised if we saw this 99. Maybe even contend for the win at the end of this thing.
Well, we're going to have 62 to go, so that's quite a bit of time to figure out if that'll happen. Malcolmson closing back on Talberson ahead.
Just closed up quite a bit. Vebels just closed up on Yatica.
Having a look, getting a bumper in there. Gonna get the bumper in again. Bit of a deep dive. Not the deepest dive we've seen from Vebels, but certainly looking.
Oh, Yatica tried to close her off. Now Gennaro's looking to the inside on Malcolmson. But Malcolmson just gets that bite off the corner. Vebels
Still side by side for 5th.
to the inside. Still on the inside for 5th. Oh, she's able to get.
I think she's clear.
Vebels is able to get the power down out of turn 2 like really well. Vebels has such good corner exit speed.
Yeah, it's very hard to
Malixon
do
finally
for the
drops
inside of Iowa.
second. She may end up dropping third here to Rugatino.
Rigatino might end up climbing to second as well. Not quite. Certainly had a look though. Having another look. Getting the bumper down in there. I think they're side. Nope, they're almost side by side.
She was very close to being side by side, but just couldn't get it.
Deep entry into the corner for Rigatino. You do pay the price on exit though.
Now here comes Gennaro. The 42's looking for the race lead.
Halverson lost a lot of time there, about 3/10, and now she might lose the lead. Side by side down the backstretch.
Halverson trying to hang on the outside. Gennaro does lead at the line. Halverson still
Halverson
using...
able to get good power.
Halverson is still doing very well, holding on the top side.
Yeah, she's certainly using that advantage for more momentum and earlier throttle response to her advantage. And she's going to keep the lead for now.
Really fun multi-groove racing here in Iowa.
Absolutely, and Veblis is really closing in now, just a second behind our leader.
The leaders battling each other is letting the 99 close up a lot. She's closing in quite a bit on these front four.
Side by side for 6th, I believe.
They are fighting for 6th. That's Tolaron and Yatica. Halverson's still in control. Fight for 2nd now. Here comes Angeli Rugatino.
Yatica really churches high, but she was able to get that momentum and make it stick, at least for now. Rigatino makes
Ooh,
a dive on the
Rugatino
bottom.
just pushed her up a little too high.
It's clear now.
Oh, caution. Caution is out again. We got a car around on the front stretch.
just
I
shot his-
believe it might have been the 3.
Burrito definitely looks slow.
Caution is out.
Well, that's a funny time for a caution to come out with 50 to go.
Halverson and Rugatino. The lead, Andrea Davison, will get the free pass. All right, well, let's go ahead and check and see what happens. I believe it was, in fact, the 3.
Off the bumper of Happam, by the looks of it.
Yep.
Oh, she just tries to turn down, and yeah, you can't do that. Close to the 62.
Bounced off the safer barriers, but that was it. Just kind of a slow spin there. I'm not even really sure she lost a spot from that, aside from what she lost to 31.
Well, unsurprisingly, no takers on pit road.
That is correct. Nobody's coming down pit road. None of the lap cars or lead lap cars are coming down. Halverson, Rugatino, Gennaro, Malixon, Vebelst, Tolaron, Ariella, Yatica, McJasmina, and Ijavida. No lap down cars will get waived.
Tell you what, this is the first time that Malkson won't be first or second on the restart in a little while.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what Rigatino can do here from second, given how much she was climbing in the initial part of the last restart.
I think
Pebbles, for that matter.
I'm really interested to see how the 99 gets through, because she's been charging through the field quite a bit, and this restart gives her even more time to kind of plan a move.
Absolutely.
Only Vebelst is the only driver in the top 5 that's in the bracket. McJasmine is the only other driver in the top 10 that's also in the bracket. Lights are out, so we're gonna go green.
Yep, it'll be with 47 to go.
.47 laps to go when we take the green flag. Lily Talberson and Angeli Rugatino. 1-2. Mika Gennaro sits third. Yappy Malikson fourth. And Marisha Vebelston fifth.
Different dynamic on this restart as well, with a bit of a mixed up order. I cannot wait to see how this is going to go. Question is, will we get more cautions? Any moment now.
Green flag.
Solid jump for Talberson. Yataka looking for second already.
Oh, here comes Rugatino.
Rugatino's going to close in.
She got a really good drive through 1 and 2. Oh, Talberson slips. Here comes Rugatino.
Talberson really drifts high. She's going to lose the lead right now, and Rigatino's up to the top spot.
And I believe
Yataka coming for second as well.
that's the first lap led for the 96 all day. Oh, the 23's blowing up!
Huge plume of smoke out the back of the 23, and that is dramatic.
Yappy Malikson.
The fourth to out.
What an unfortunate end for Malikson. And Rugatino is pulling away.
That she is half a second out front now. Yataka's still there giving pressure for second. Not much, but certainly a little bit.
You mean Gennaro?
Gennaro, yeah. My bad.
Yataka is the 92.
Right. How about Abriella, though, in fourth, making up quite a bit of spots on the restart?
How about Taylor Happeman in 10th? And again, a repeat winner is good news for, well, everyone in that playoff battle. You know, especially for the 64 and 23.
Absolutely, and that gap is ever increasing for Rigatino out front.
And you know what else it means?
This rate is another caution.
You know what else it does mean is, you know, with that playoff battle, if we get another repeat winner, that would be pretty good for Nihil and Malikson, especially considering those two have over 100-point gap on the cut line. So,
absolutely. $40 to go. Lead is now 1 second. Gennaro continuing to look for second, not finding it.
Rugatino is gone. I'm not sure I've seen nobody's really pulled away like that since the 6 car earlier in the race, and the 96 is just running away. Kind of like she did at Calder Park, although that Calder Park win definitely has an asterisk attached to it. If you're Rugatino, are you just gonna pace yourself now? Just run as hard as you really need to? Or are you gonna go all out every lap here?
Asking an AWSCO driver to be patient, that's a bit silly, I think. It's like asking a child not to steal from the cookie jar.
Well, I'm not asking them. I'm just saying, what would you do?
Well, if I were smart, I would pace myself. But that kind of fundamentally goes against most AWSCO drivers' mentalities, so I think we will see Rugatino pushing a lot.
She's got a 1.8 second lead now.
Things pretty spread out in the rest of the top 5 though at this stage. Not as many battles as on previous restarts.
Yeah, it's really it's really spreading out here. There's Andrea Davison, who just got back on the lead lap. Trying to get into the top 10 now.
Halfman's been looking for a way past Yatica, but has not been finding it lately at all. She makes the dive, but just cannot make it stick. Just cannot make it a substantial effort.
Ooh,
Davison with a
Davison
bit of a
gets
nudge
into
on
the 31.
On the apron.
Jamie McJasmine now in 6th spot. Again, she looks well on her way to finally getting that first top 10 on an oval. Oh, we got a car blowing up on the apron. That's the 72 of Parkings.
She's gonna stop. That might have some implications.
I don't think it will.
Certainly the engine builders took a bit of a week off.
I don't think they were expecting it to be this hot at Iowa. Rasha?
Better weather forecast.
This race is unbelievable, isn't it? I don't think rails were ever even a question at this track because we've lost two more. Well, we've lost 2 more cars due to engines. You saw what happened to the 23 earlier, Yappy Malakson, while contending for the win. Looks like the camshaft went off on that thing, so that's the 2nd time we've seen a camshaft failure today. The other one being the absolute grenade on. Hang on, I don't remember. I forgot which one, but there was another team that lost a camshaft on a big engine failure. Was
It's
that?
Parkings.
I think that was. Well, while I figure that one out, we'll take a look. We're taking a look right now in the 72 of Janet Parkings here, who's also had a pretty decent engine failure. We'll have to double check what that was, but they're reporting it's a valve timing issue on that car. That's probably gonna take That's gonna take them out for this race, and yet another. Yet another big engine failure going off on another one of these teams, one of these drivers. So, real bad day for engine builders today. Here, it's been a grueling race, rather surprisingly, I want to say, for the engine builders here.
And rather been a rather difficult race for all these engines, and I was curious if the 96 maybe pitted a little later than everybody else, but no, looks like she pitted at the same time. She's just She's just doing that good.
Yeah, and with, what, 25 to go, she's got a lead of 3 seconds. 3 and some change, actually. Lap
She's
traffic,
kind of
not a
getting
problem
through.
for
She's
Brigantino.
kind of trying to get through lap traffic right now.
Speaking of lap traffic, Carly Burness making the battle for second a little bit more interesting. Gabriella there as well. And Bubbles. They've all closed in now.
Not sure why the 39 isn't trying to make the move on the 9 yet.
Bored. I don't know.
Here comes McJasmina, looking for a 5th spot on Vebelst. Here comes Gabriella, looking for now. Now Gabriella's going for 3rd. Got McJasmina going for 5th. There may be some cars in this group that are faster than the 96, but the 96 has a 5-second lead.
Did she have a 3-second lead just a few laps ago?
Yeah, but in fairness, the 39 was running behind the 9 for some reason.
Yeah, that's true. Just got bored. Didn't feel like passing.
See Vebelst and Gennaro fighting back here for 5th. Gabriella's moved up to 3rd. So on a podium position, Gabriella is. I believe that would be her first career podium. Her best career finish is a 7th place. Vebel's still trying to get by Gennaro for 5th. Those two fight side by side still. McJasmina would be looking for her second career podium. Of course, the other one being her win in Montreal.
And Vebelt has now taken 5th away from the 42.
Yep, 99's back up into the top 5.
And Vebels is now closing back into this group. May take more spots.
We may see a fight for 3rd here as the 6 car goes underneath the 20.
Trying to get under the 13 as well, dispose of the lap car. Use the lap car as a pick as well.
She'll use the lap car to pin the 20 behind it. And McJasmine is up to 3rd.
It's going to work for Vebels too.
Pretty solid recovery for McJasmine. She was 2 laps down at one point in this race. She led a good chunk early. She fell 2 laps down. She's back up to 3rd now. Back up on a podium position. Marisha Vebels has made it up to 4th. Gabriella, 5th. Gennaro is 6th. Now we see Gabriella looking underneath Vebels for 4th. We honestly may see McJasmine battle the 39 here.
We may, but it's going to be hard to make the Behemoth lead of 7 seconds with 14 to go at this rate. But Jasmine needs to make the move now and be rapid if she wants a chance at the win.
It's the best of the rest unless there's a caution, which I wouldn't count out. Have you seen how they've been racing? Yeah. I would not count out a caution from happening.
Generally, just tonight has been filled with cautions. I would not rule it out another.
We had some good green flag runs at the beginning of the race. It's just kind of been like, I don't know. 30 laps, then a caution. 30 laps, then a caution. 30 laps, then a caution for, a good while. Most of the second half.
That's true.
It's not entirely... I wouldn't call it a caution fest, but it's like...
No.
Later in the race
Certainly
it's gotten, it's...
Call it random times.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, there's a caution, a bit unexpectedly. Tell you what, though, we are at our Windows 11 to go, and the lead is 7.5 seconds now for the 96.
Thank you for
Bit of a battle
remembering that for
second
me.
right now, but nothing out front.
Thank you for remembering that for me.
Well, that might be why Windows is leaving, because you keep forgetting. Anyway,
Well, Windows isn't going to stop sponsoring the 11 to go. They're just moving to sponsor another car instead.
this is true.
Jasmine is all over there on the 39.
Tomerson is not closing in even remotely. Lead is now almost 8 seconds at this rate, and it's only been a few laps.
Talberson's just been really good at playing defense all race here.
Yeah, I think she knows at this point. 8.5 seconds, not gonna make that up.
I mean,
don't even try.
here's the thing here is it's pretty much going to be a battle for best of the rest.
Yeah, this is true.
Jasmine
I
hounding
don't
the
think fifth
39
looks like
still.
it's still going on.
It is. And the 22's actually putting herself into that battle now.
Yeah, it's a 3-horse race, and she's up underneath Bebbles now.
Bebbles is going
Bebbles
to use
very
the
high,
outside,
able
though.
to get the momentum.
Talberson's just kind of holding the bottom. And, I mean, we're starting to rapidly approach the point where a yellow would just end the race instead of cause a restart. Angeli Rugatino is gone. Almost a 9-second lead. Which would have been
Absolutely.
unfathomable at any other point, although she's spinning the 60. She got into the 62 there.
Got her sideways, trying to get past.
Would have been funny if
Ultimately
she
did not
caused the
result in a spin.
if she caused a caution that went up with her having to defend herself in a restart. Five laps to go, coming to 4 to go now.
Yeah, at this rate, there would be no restart. Whatever happens will end the race.
I wouldn't mark that until about 3 to go, because remember, we can still pace minus.
Yeah, very soon it will be the case, for sure.
But it won't matter now. 3 laps to go. Angeli Rugatino out front by an 8-second margin. Well, actually, it's about 7.5 seconds. She's bottled behind the lap cars, but it's really not going to do much. Seven seconds. Well, 6.9 as it stands now.
Trying to get up underneath the 62 again.
White flag. 1 lap to go for Rugatino. She just came out of nowhere here at the end. And it's going to be a big win in Iowa for Angeli Rugatino. The 96 will take the checkered flag. Rugatino wins in Iowa. And she'll have a win without an asterisk on it. There's second, 6.5 seconds behind.
Tell you what, we might be wondering where she came from, but we know where she's going.
Victory lane.
Absolutely, victory lane. With complete legitimacy at that.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
No post-race tech here. Well, there is post-race tech, but likely she won't fail it. Well, with that being said, how did you feel about that one, Maddie? About what you saw in those last 150 laps, and what do you think we can expect next week in Richmond?
Well, that was certainly very interesting last 150 laps. The restarts were to beg for, and certainly the cautions came out at very interesting times. It always seemed to give us a good show whenever the field got back to green. Except for that last one, Rugatino just had a clinic and pulled away. Up to 8.5 seconds to lead at one point, down to 6.5 near the end, but still absolutely dominant. And insofar as Richmond, it can be a little bit harder to pass than here, but certainly I still expect a lot of aggression. What do you think?
I think Richmond's going to be fun. With what we saw here in Iowa this week, I would not be surprised if we saw a very similar racing product in Richmond. Very similar tracks. They're shaped very similarly. They have pretty similar banking. Overall, I would not be terribly surprised if we saw a very similar kind of race at Richmond next week. All right, and with that, we will take you to our post-race show with Russia and Ellie. Russia, Ellie, what do you two got down there?
Yeah, and what a run by the 96 Evangeline Rugatino there to finish off this race, the Iowa Corn 400 at Iowa Speedway. Really, nobody was able to match her in that last run. She pulled off an excellent win in the nick of time too, with the playoffs coming out. Another win another win that definitely pulls out. Silences all of the doubts regarding the Calder Park race she won. That's twice now she's won in the kind of the same way, by pulling away beyond everyone else at the in the last run of the race.
Oh, you turned
Yeah.
to me. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
She did come out of nowhere. I was kind of surprised to see her. Like, I was not paying a speck of attention to her the entire race.
Mm-hmm.
I was focused on that top 5 that we were talking about during the mid-race report. And then she just came out of nowhere, like the last 30, 40 laps. And she was so fast after she got up there. She passed Holberson by so fast, and she won with a 6-second lead. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. More looking at the rest of the finishers here. Good run for Lily Tolberson, racking up another top 5. That'll be her 11th of the season here, putting her in a 5-way tie, I think, with a bunch of other drivers. Nisha Velbel's getting another top 5, so that's a double top 5 for ERR there. Good race for that team. Andrea Davison recovered pretty well from getting bottled up in that late restart, finishing 6th place. Looking at the rest of the results here, Mimi Barino finishing 12th. Isai Javide had a really good run. It was in fact the day for the underdogs here. 7th, 8th, and 9th going to the 3 drivers at the very bottom of the near the very bottom of the standings. The 242 and 15. There's 37th through 39th in points respectively. All 3 of those drivers getting top 10s. What a run for those 3. And of course, Of course, I have to shout out the number 6 car. That's Giammi McJasmine with a top 5 run. Her first top 5 since all the way back in her win at Montreal. That's just her second. Is that just her second top 5? I think it is. Yes, that's her second top 5.
Great run for her.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, today's race was definitely marred by quite a few mechanical problems. It reminded me quite a lot of early season AWSCO, with all those problems everyone had trying to deal with the hot and dry climate here at Iowa. Definitely issues getting those engines to last the full race. Saw a bit of a how do I say this, a string of engine problems earlier on in the race, and then another kind of crop of problems coming up very late in the race. A few cars engines letting go there. Angeli Rugatino winning, of course. That won't affect the playoff race from a numbers perspective. I think the 64 and 23 will stay as they are. 27 will pass the 1. Should pass the 1 with that result. So from a playoff perspective, there's not going to be too much change on that front. What do you think? 3 races left to go. Richmond coming up next. That track's gonna be fairly similar to Iowa, of course, but with more tire wear at that track than we had at Iowa this week. I think strategy is probably going to be a more strategy-driven race than we had here today. But from a racing perspective, I think it'll be somewhat similar to the stuff we saw today.
Yeah, and I love high tire wear racing. I love high strategy racing. It makes a very interesting very interesting show. I think the racing in Richmond is going to be really good. I think it'll be similar to here, just a bit more technical, a bit more strategy. I'm excited to see Richmond and the last few races before the playoffs really come in. So, yeah.
By the way, that top 10, that 6th place result for Andrea Davison puts her in 5 top 10 finishes in a row here. So, really unbelievable run of form for that 22. Yeah, really unbelievable run of form for that team. It's been really excellent stuff from that 22 team heading towards the playoffs. We'll see how that translates to coming up here with the playoff run coming up. Obviously, the next two tracks in the regular season after Richmond, the final 2 are going to be quite different, with Darlington and Pensacola. Darlington being very much a unicorn of a racetrack. No track really drives quite like it. And as such, it presents a massive challenge for a lot of drivers, even at the highest of levels. That's a race that you can't. That's a race that is a must-watch for. For any fan of racing, I think. And then, of course, the big one, Pensacola, the plate race at the end of the regular season. That'll a lot of anticipation coming up to that race. Whether or not a lot of questions as to whether or not we'll see a surprise winner gate crash their way into the playoffs again. And with just 3 spots on points left, especially between the 64 and 23, the 23 is looking. The top 2 looks, with no new winner, I should say, this week. The top 2 should feel a lot more comfortable now, with only 3 races left to go. I believe the 64 and 23 should make it in, regardless.
The 64 and 23 look really fine, especially now that Mauxon is now up to plus 100 on points. That is a pretty safe margin. I don't think those 2 should really worry about points. It's just everybody else who is right below and right above the cut line who should really be worried. I mean, Vancy is only -1. Garnston's +1.
Yeah. I
mean, sure, Stoneman and Schleichenbach could make it up with a race.
I mean, we could still get 3 new winners. That is becoming. I think that's looking increasingly unlikely with only 3 races left. You need a unique new winner in every one of these next 3 races for that regular season battle to decide the last playoff berth. It's possible, but it is very, very unlikely, I think. But you know what they say. This is AWSCO. Expecting the unexpected seems to be the norm in this series. But obviously that battle for the playoffs, just 1 point separating the 27 and the 1, and you see the 17 and even the 8 kind of closing in. This is gonna be fairly tight, I think, on points if we don't get any new winners.
If we don't get any new winners, we're looking at maybe 1 spot for a driver who can get in on points outside of Mauxon and Nihil. I do see us getting a new winner. Probably
at least one. Yeah, probably at least 1 new winner, I'd say.
The thing is I could see the points leaders doing it. That is something I could see. I could see Mauxon or Nihil getting a win.
Yeah, looking at our championship in-season tournament bracket, I should say, with 4 matchups left, 8 drivers now. It's The 71 of Abby Little versus the 9 of Carly Byrne. That seeds 32 and 24 respectively. Just one single-digit seed left. The 99 of Marisha Vebelsteer, 5 seed, finishing in 5th against the defeating the 91 of Alicia Bird. That puts her up against the 6 of Giami McJasmina, who won out her matchup by finishing 3rd today. On the other end, you have Cynthia Rariston and Michele Yatica. Yatica finishing 11th, just outside the top 10, matching her up with the number 32. And finally, you have a real tight, real battle of underdogs here. The 31 of Taylor Happman and the 13 of Yania Waterton. Seeds 14 and 27, although they're two of your winners that are well down in points, and kind of unexpected maybe seeing those two here, given that they were both up against two drivers from the big teams, quote unquote.
Yeah, we have seen a slightly unexpected kind of bracket situation right now. A lot of the underdogs are performing really well. And the thing is here is that I'm not going to count out any of them, because at this point, it could really be anybody's position to win, right? I mean, we've seen, for example, McJasmina. I thought Alicantes was going to take it. She did not. It's now McJasmina and Vebelst against each other in that bracket. Rariston and Yatica, I expected Vancy to take that, not Rariston, but Rariston's there. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a very competitive and intense kind of underdog situation. I could also see Abby Little maybe doing something, pulling off maybe just a good race, and she gets ahead of Byrne. It's been very interesting to watch this whole bracket situation.
Yeah, we'll see what the next next 3 races have in store for us, because it's going to be a wild ride towards the playoffs here in the AWSCO Windows Cup Series and in the Continental Series as well. And with that, I think we'll wrap up our post-race show here. We'll take things back over to Echo, where she'll close out the broadcast as usual. Thank you, everyone, for being with us here tonight on ESN.
Yeah, and a really fun night here from Iowa Speedway. We apologize for those technical difficulties we had earlier on. We hope that they will be fixed by the time we run our next race. On behalf of Rena, Maddie, Russia, and Ellie, I'm Echo. Thank you so much for joining. Join us next week for the Continental Series at Richmond, and then the Cup Series also at Richmond.